Chapter 1073. While Yang Wu was fighting with the phoenix, Little Hay had already arrived in front of the dragon phoenix tree. The formation it had set up was not worth mentioning in its eyes. When Lu Ji saw Little Hay, a look of surprise appeared on his face. You're the master's Little Hay dog? Lu Ji had always known about Little Hay's existence. However, Yang Wu had gone to the transcendent realm and separated from it. Lu Ji had always thought that Little Hay had died in an accident. After all, it was just a spirit dog. It could easily die in an accident. Little Hay no longer hid its abilities. It glanced at Lu Ji and said, "Woof, woof, it seems that you've made up for your birth defect well. The yin and yang energies are finally balanced. The problem of your lifespan is also completely solved. Not bad, not bad." "How did you know? Did the master tell you?" Lu Ji was stunned. "I was the one who told Little Wu the way to save you," Little Hay said proudly. Little Black replied proudly. After pausing for a moment, he said, "Also, the yin-yang immortal art that you cultivate was also passed down to him by me. Remember, this immortal emperor is your savior." Lu Ji was confused. He did not know if he should believe Little Hay's words. Little Hay ignored him. It shouted at the dragon phoenix tree, "Tree spirit, come out." The dragon phoenix tree did not respond. Little Hay spat out a stream of fire. This fire was not very strong. It was only the size of a fist. When it landed on the dragon phoenix tree, it instantly caught fire. Suddenly, the power of the dragon chi and the phoenix fire swept towards Little Hay. This power was so terrifying that Lu Ji was scared out of his wit. This was a power that could kill an immortal realm cultivator. How could Little Hay withstand it? Unexpectedly, Little Hay opened her mouth and swallowed the dragon baleful aura and phoenix flames. She even let out a burp as if she was enjoying her meal. "If you don't come out now, you're going to die," Little Hay said again. Suddenly, the dragon phoenix tree said, "What kind of true fire is this? I can't take it anymore. Roar! Roar!" The dragon phoenix tree let out a cry that sounded like a dragon's roar, then a phoenix's cry. It was very strange. "And here I was thinking how long you were going to pretend for. This immortal emperor can take care of you at any time," Little Hay said proudly. "You quickly retract your primordial fire. We can talk this out," the dragon phoenix tree pleaded. Although the true fire was small, it truly threatened its foundation. If it was allowed to spread, it would be completely destroyed. Little Hay did not really want to destroy the dragon phoenix tree. She opened her mouth and retracted the fire burning on the dragon phoenix tree. "Then," she said, "remove all the restrictions here." "Why?" the dragon phoenix tree and Lu Ji exclaimed in unison. "Hee, aren't the living beings here engaged in some kind of competition for rankings? There are so many items of dragons and phoenixes here. Isn't this the best battlefield for them to fight over?" Little Hay said with a strange smile. "Little Hay, you're harming our master. You can't remove the restrictions here," Lu Ji immediately said. "What do you know? If I can't even withstand a test like this, how can I reach the pinnacle of cultivation in the future? I'm afraid I won't even be as good as you and that skinny monkey," Little Hay replied. Then it shouted again, "Hurry up and remove them. Otherwise, I'll do it myself." "All right, since that's the case, we'll do as you say. However, this place is my lifeline. I definitely won't allow them to obtain too many things. Those who aren't strong enough can forget about taking a single thing away," the dragon phoenix tree agreed. However, it also made a request of its own. Those who were strong enough and possessed items close to it could only take 3 of its sacred items. Those who weren't strong enough could just die here and increase the vitality of the soil. Little Hay naturally didn't have any objections. To it, this was just a fun game, and the main character of this game was Yang Wu. All of a sudden, all the restrictive power was removed. The prodigies who had entered this space earlier appeared in this world. Their faces were still filled with confusion. However, when they saw the items in this place, all of them went crazy. "Look, That's dragon blood grass and dragon vein stones. We're rich. The dragon phoenix tree is over there. Could it be that the dragon phoenix fruit is hanging there? I must get my hands on it. Oh no, someone discovered the sacred items here before us. Hurry up and snatch them. Haha, I really do have an affinity with the dragon phoenix tree. This place will be mine. Many of the prodigies looked at the items of the dragon phoenix tree, and their eyes were filled with greed. They all rushed toward the closest items of the dragon phoenix tree. Just as they were about to snatch the items of the dragon phoenix tree, a terrifying power of the dragon phoenix tree erupted and instantly killed several of them. The other prodigies were so frightened that their movements became much slower. There were also some prodigies who could resist the power of the dragon phoenix tree and were qualified to snatch the items of the dragon phoenix tree. None of the prodigies feared these dangers. To them, this was just a trial. They were confident that they would be able to snatch the items of the dragon phoenix tree. At this moment, Yang Wu finally grabbed the phoenix feather fan. His body was also being burned by the true phoenix flames. His holy dragon body was almost unable to withstand the heat, and the smell of charred flesh permeated the air. It's cooked, Yang Wu muttered with a smile as he gritted his teeth. He had been tempered by many types of flames before, and he had developed an extremely strong resistance to the burning sensation of flames. However, the true phoenix flames were also known as the undying flames. Its firepower was astonishing. Even though he had Lan Xiaoji to share the burden, it was still extremely painful. It penetrated straight into his bones and soul. If it were anyone else, they would definitely not be able to withstand it. After he endured this power, the power of the phoenix shadow finally disappeared into the phoenix feather fan. As long as he obtained the phoenix feather fan, he would be able to erupt with the terrifying power of the true phoenix flames. This was the unique characteristic of a Xiantian warrior. It was also at this moment that an extremely sharp power slashed toward Yang Wu's arm. This attack appeared extremely suddenly, and the speed of the attack was very fast. Yang Wu barely had a chance to react before his arm was slashed. Clang! A crisp sound rang out, and lightning flashed in all directions. A look of shock flashed across the attacker's face. The weapon in his hand was a top-grade Lesser Saint weapon, and it could cut through stone like mud. However, when it slashed at Yang Wu's arm, it was like slashing at an iron wall. Yang Wu didn't have an arm guard on his arm. Yang Wu's arm wasn't chopped off, but he was in pain from the power of the opponent's sword move. He had no choice but to let go of the phoenix feather fan, and the true phoenix flames covered the phoenix feather fan. If he wanted to obtain it again, he would have to endure another attack from the phoenix shadow. Yang Wu was completely enraged. It wasn't easy for him to obtain the item, but someone had actually interfered with it. He didn't care who the opponent was, and he quickly turned around and threw out a shocking punch at the attacker. Barbaric Dragon Fist. Yang Wu was truly enraged. He didn't hold back at all in this punch. With this punch, even a first-grade Starmark Saint would be killed. Although the attacker's speed was fast, he was still half a beat slower in the face of Yang Wu's tyrannical punch. More than half of his shoulder was directly shattered by Yang Wu's punch. Ah! The attacker let out a mournful scream. He wanted to escape again, but Yang Wu had already thrown out a whip kick, sweeping toward his head. Bang! His head fell to the ground like a watermelon, and was directly kicked until it exploded. Yang Wu wasn't in the mood to ask who he was. In his opinion, no matter who he was, he deserved to die. How hard was it to find a natural item? It was even harder to obtain it. He had just desperately suppressed it, and now he had to put in a lot of effort to obtain it again. After killing this person, Yang Wu also woke up. He sensed that a great change had occurred in this world, and many creatures had appeared. What's going on? Yang Wu murmured with a puzzled expression. He scanned the surroundings and found that there were indeed many more creatures. There were people from all races, and they seemed to have appeared out of thin air to compete for the dragon and phoenix items here. Before Yang Wu could figure out what was going on, a joyful voice rang out, "It's the Phoenix Feather Fan." A wave of fire swept over, and its target was the Phoenix Feather Fan beside Yang Wu. Yang Wu didn't think twice and attacked again. The overbearing fist carried the power to destroy heaven and earth, and it hit the attacking creature. The creature was extremely light and agile, and its reaction was also very fast. It dodged Yang Wu's attack. She was a fire phoenix from the Fire Phoenix tribe. The Fire Phoenix stared at Yang Wu and said coldly, "I don't care who you are. Get out of the way, or you'll die without a burial place." She was an extremely sexy woman in human form, but when one met her eyes that were filled with hostility, no one would have any improper thoughts. "Get lost!" Yang Wu shouted without holding back. He didn't want to waste any more time and grabbed the Phoenix Feather Fan again. He had to get it as soon as possible. Otherwise, it would be troublesome if it was taken away by others. "You deserve to die for stealing my tribe's item," the Fire Phoenix shouted, and her hands formed a seal and slapped toward Yang Wu. Fire Phoenix Palm. The palm print turned into a Fire Phoenix and slapped toward Yang Wu. The Fire Phoenix was filled with destruction, and it wasn't something that anyone could withstand. Yang Wu's body flashed, and he dodged the palm like a ghost. He appeared behind the Fire Phoenix and punched her back without holding back. It was like a wild tiger was about to bite her. The Fire Phoenix's strength was extraordinary, but it was still nothing in front of Yang Wu. Her spine was broken, and she was sent flying far away. She spat out blood, and her true form was revealed. Her breath was almost cut off. Yang Wu didn't have time to pay attention to her, and he quickly grabbed the Phoenix Feather Fan. "How dare you hurt my sisters? You'll die a horrible death." An angry and delicate voice suddenly rang out. "How dare you attack us Fire Phoenixes? Even if the gods came, they wouldn't be able to save you." Another voice that was filled with hostility was heard. Then, a few fire shadows flew toward Yang Wu, and there was a very strong firepower coming toward Yang Wu. The shocking firepower wanted to burn Yang Wu to death. Chapter 1074. The Fire Phoenix tribe was a close relative of the Phoenix bloodline. Just like the Flood Dragon tribe, they were one of the strongest spirit demon factions in the Dragon Vein Phoenix Forest. Huahongyun was the strongest heaven's pride of the Fire Phoenix tribe. Her fiery feathers wrapped around her slender body. Any creature that looked at her would have their most primal urges ignited. She was a girl with an explosive figure. Huoliekwang was the prince of the Fire Phoenix tribe. His status was no lower than Huahongyun's, but his bloodline was slightly weaker. However, his battle prowess was no weaker than Huahongyun's. Other than them, there were 5 other spirit demons from the Fire Phoenix tribe attacking Yang Wu together. The Phoenix Feather Fan was of great importance. They didn't want to miss it. However, other than them, there was also the Fire Phoenix tribe. Although their Phoenix bloodline wasn't as strong as the Fire Phoenix tribe, their power wasn't any weaker. Moreover, they were mutated spirit demons. Their battle prowess wasn't to be underestimated. They naturally didn't want to miss out on the Phoenix Feather Fan. Yueguang was the prince of the Dark Flame Sparrow clan. His entire body was surrounded by black flames. His long hair fluttered in the wind, and he held a halberd in his hand. He looked like a black flame war god, and his fiery aura was very oppressive. The Fire Phoenix true fire wasn't any weaker than the Phoenix fire of the Fire Phoenix. Yueguang was Yueguang's younger brother. He was also an incredible small saint demon. They led the Fire Phoenix tribe to fight for the Phoenix Feather Fan. "Sister, you stop those bastards. I'll take down the human and take the Phoenix Feather Fan." Huoliekwang transmitted his voice to Huahongyun. Huahongyun knew the severity of the situation. She placed the Phoenix Feather Fan in front of the Fire Phoenix bird. The domineering Phoenix True Fire stopped the Fire Phoenix bird. "Huahongyun, you really think you can stop me?" Yueguang pointed his halberd at Huahongyun and shouted. "You can try if you want," Huahongyun said sternly. You bitch, I'll capture you and make you my woman. Yu Yueguang shouted and took out a sacred item. It was a feather of the 9 secret underworld sparrow. This was a mutated spiritual demon that was comparable to a phoenix. It could fight against a phoenix's feather. The 2 extraordinary items transformed into the form of the phoenix and the 9 netherworld sparrow respectively, fighting fiercely in midair. Yang Wu was attacked by Huoliequang and the other 2 phoenixes. They felt that killing Yang Wu was more than enough, so they did not put him in their eyes and wanted to end the battle quickly. Yang Wu wanted to end the battle as soon as possible. His eyes twitched, and he saw all the firepower coming from Yulai. Blue Demonis came out from his chest again, and he controlled it to attack the firepower with both hands. Mystical Flame Technique. Blue Yao Ji was a holy flame, and its power was not to be underestimated. It was not any weaker than Huoliequang and the other 2 phoenixes. Moreover, under the control of Yang Wu's mystical flame technique, it caught them off guard. You want to compete with us in playing with fire? You really are an idiot. You 2 stop him, I'll take the phoenix feather fan. Huoliequang disdainfully scolded. His figure flashed as he flew towards the phoenix feather fan. His eyes were filled with greed. As long as he obtained the phoenix feather fan, he would be able to sweep away all the creatures here. This was a Xiantian warrior weapon, and its attribute was the most compatible with him. Yang Wu could have stopped him, but he hesitated for a moment and decided not to. The power of the phoenix's phantom was comparable to holy power. He did not believe that Huoliequang could block it, even if they had the same bloodline. Yang Wu concentrated on dealing with the other 2 phoenixes. They joined together, and formed a sea of fire that burned towards him. Yang Wu's arms continuously moved, and he increased the firepower towards the 2 phoenixes. The fighting strength of these 2 phoenixes was clearly weaker than Huoliequang. At most, their fighting strength was comparable to the half-step holy power. Combined with the power of their true fire, they could threaten ordinary holy realm creatures. This little bit of power was nothing in front of Yang Wu. Blue Yao Ji split into 2, and like a huge black tortoise, it rushed towards the 2 phoenixes to devour them. Everyone was an expert in playing with fire. Let's see whose firepower was more ferocious. The 2 phoenixes were frightened after their power was devoured by Blue Yao Ji. They immediately changed back to their true form, and their phoenix wings flapped. Waves of even more ferocious firepower were released. They swept towards Yang Wu, and their phoenix claws were aimed at Yang Wu's head. Their attack looked very ferocious, but it was still too slow in Yang Wu's eyes. Yang Wu swung his arms, and the tyrannical blue flames rushed through their abdomens. Ouch! Ouch! Yang Wu pierced through the abdomens of the 2 phoenixes. Blood gushed out crazily, and their bodies were sent flying far away. It was unknown whether they were dead or alive. At the same time, Huoliequang was also battered and exhausted by the power of the phoenix phantom. He changed back to his true form, and his feathers were all burned away by the true fire. He looked like a plucked chicken, and his appearance was very funny. However, Huoliequang's ability was not small. He spat out half of a phoenix claw, which was the same aura as the phoenix phantom. It blocked the phoenix phantom's ferocious firepower attack, and he could quickly rush towards the phoenix feather fan. Just as he was about to snatch the phoenix feather fan, his tail was grabbed by Yang Wu, and then he was ruthlessly smashed to the ground. Bang! Yang Wu was incomparably tyrannical. His holy dragon body could easily tear apart a holy realm creature, let alone a mere small holy realm phoenix. Even if the other party was very powerful, he was still smashed to the point of bleeding. You dare to snatch my feather fan? Do you really think you are a phoenix? Yang Wu was not satisfied. He angrily stomped on Huoliequang's body a few more times, causing him to continuously scream in pain. At the same time, Yu Yueshao rushed over. He was smarter than Huoliequang, and immediately took out his trump card. A black pearl appeared. It emitted a strange aura, and was slowly absorbing the power of the true fire of the phoenix. This was the fire-devouring pearl, an incomparably rare saint item. It could devour all kinds of firepower, and just so happened to be able to restrain the Phoenix Phantom's firepower. "The Phoenix Feather Fan is mine," Yu Yueshao excitedly said, and swept towards the Phoenix Feather Fan. "Have you asked for this young master's permission? Get lost." Yang Wu was very angry. Every fire bird was fighting with him. He lifted Huolai Kuang's body, and used him as a weapon to sweep towards Yu Yueshao. Yu Yueshao was not stupid. He changed back to his true form on the spot, and his speed increased several times. He cleverly dodged Yang Wu's attack, and released his unique firepower aura. He erupted with the most powerful energy towards Yang Wu, and used the remaining energy to retrieve the Phoenix Feather Fan. Hidden Flame Space. The biggest difference between the flame nether birds was that their firepower could envelop an area. They could create a firepower space that could burn the sky and evaporate the sea. Even ordinary saints would not want to touch this kind of hidden flame space. Once they touched it, they would be doomed. "The Phoenix Feather Fan will definitely be mine," Yu Yueshao excitedly said. Yang Wu was in this space, and the power of the hidden flame space was indeed extraordinary. However, Lan Yaoji was not to be trifled with either. She completely blocked Yang Wu, and the hidden flame space could not harm him at all. On the other hand, Huolai Kuang was unlucky. He was injured by the Phoenix Phantom, and then smashed by Yang Wu. He could not resist the burning of the hidden flame space, and he screamed in pain. If it were not for his tenacious vitality, he would have been burned to death. Yang Wu did not want to give him a chance to live. He used him as a weapon and threw him towards Yu Yueshao. At the same time, Yang Wu was like a dragon that had been born. He took extremely fast steps and rushed out of the hidden flame space. He was like a barbarian elephant as he rushed towards Yu Yueshao from behind Huolai Kuang. Yu Yueshao first sent out a black flame palm, turning Huolai Kuang into a bloody mess. His other hand was still reaching for the Phoenix Feather Fan. Just as he was about to grab it, Yang Wu had already rushed in front of him. His fist turned into a barbarian elephant, and a terrifying brute force exploded from his arm, instantly blowing Yu Yueshao's body apart. This was an extremely angry attack from Yang Wu. Even a second-level Star Mark Realm Saint would not be able to survive. How could Yu Yueshao have a chance to live? "Bastard, you actually killed my little brother. I want you to die a horrible death." Yu Yueguang sensed Yu Yueshao's death and couldn't help but roar. Hua Hongyun also realized that this human was not to be underestimated. She said to Yu Yueguang, "Let's work together to deal with him first. We can fight for the Phoenix Feather Fan later." "I'll listen to you." Yu Yueshao's face was filled with hostility as he replied. Thus, these two little saint demons attacked Yang Wu at the same time. Two different feathers, carrying a monstrous amount of firepower, were enough to completely annihilate Yang Wu. Yang Wu didn't dare to be careless. These two were top-grade saint items. Once he was hit, it wouldn't be a joke. He used his super-fast movement technique to dodge these two waves of attack. Moreover, he rushed towards the Phoenix Feather Fan without caring about anything else. His position was very close, and he could touch it if he stretched out his hand. However, he still couldn't obtain it immediately. The Phoenix Phantom appeared again, forcing him to dodge. Fortunately, the power of the two feathers came again, forcing the Phoenix Phantom to meet the power of the two feathers. Pung pung. Monstrous flames clashed non-stop. It was like a volcano erupting, and the surrounding space was trembling non-stop. Yang Wu was also affected by the flames. If Lan Yaoji hadn't absorbed the flames for him, he would have been heavily injured. Yu Yueguang and Hua Hongyun each brought their battle weapons and charged towards Yang Wu. Nether Fire Trial. Yu Yueguang raised his battle halberd. Like the Fire King of Hell, he blasted out a terrifying amount of destructive firepower. Raging flames burned the sky. while Hongyun held a phoenix-shaped flaming sword in her hand. She slashed out a cloud of flames that was like a fire cloud. That power was enough to burn the sky and evaporate the sea. It was really difficult to resist. These two were top-grade prodigies of the Spirit Devil tribe. Their combat power was extraordinary. Even the top 10 prodigies of the Heavenly Dragon Leaderboard or Heavenly Phoenix Leaderboard might not be able to defeat them. The power that the two of them unleashed together could kill a level 2 Starmark Saint. Yang Wu felt a strong threat from them. He didn't hold back anymore. He gathered Lan Yao Ji's power in his palm and blasted out a domineering palm print. Domineering Divine Palm. This was a battle skill that could destroy the sky and the earth. Its power was boundless. Who could stop Yang Wu when he unleashed his full power? Chapter 1075. While Yang Wu was being attacked by the Fiery Phoenix tribe and the Fiery Phoenix tribe, the others were also being attacked by other Sky Prides. The Sky Prides who were able to enter this place were all top-notch Sky Prides from various factions. They all had dragon and phoenix items, so their combat strength was not to be underestimated. Aside from Yang Wu's side, another battle was also very intense. Song Qing's Dragon's Pine Whip was also being fought over by the Sky Prides of the Dragon Tiger sect and the Demon race. The Sky Pride of the Dragon Tiger sect was Zhang Daolong, who was known as Little Dragon Head. He was ranked in the top 50 on the prediction list, and his combat strength was the strongest among the younger generation of the Dragon Tiger sect. The Demon race's Sky Prides was Ba Ben, who had fought with Yang Wu before. This guy had reached the second form, and his combat strength was also very impressive. Other than them, there were a few other creatures. However, they knew that they could not be compared to Song Qing, Zhang Daolong, and Ba Ben, so they could only take advantage of the situation and see if there was a chance for them to obtain the Dragon's Pine Whip. Zhang Daolong was known as Little Dragon Head. He cultivated the unique battle art of the Dragon and Tiger sect, and the draconic chi around his body was extremely tyrannical. It was no wonder that he had such a reputation. His arms were like two coiled true dragons, and he kept swinging them out. It was as if two true dragons were pouncing and biting, and they were extremely powerful. True dragon arms. This was Zhang Daolong's innate ability. His arms were comparable to sacred weapons, and he could crush any opponent. Ba Ben's strength was not to be underestimated. When he entered the Heavenly Overlord armor state, he also had the body of a demon saint. Every move he made was filled with dense demonic chi. Song Qing was not afraid of them, but when he was dealing with the dragon-shaped battle chi produced by the Dragon's Pine Whip, he suffered some internal injuries. It was not easy to fight against two alone. He used the invisible sword field, and was like the King of Swords, forcibly blocking the attacks of the two Sky Prides. It would be difficult to determine which of the three Sky Prides would obtain the Dragon's Pine Whip until the last moment. Yang Ba, Su Zhu, Shu Yujun, and the others were facing less pressure. What they were eyeing wasn't a Xiantian treasure, but it was still extremely precious. The geniuses who came to compete for it were very strong, but they could handle them. Yang Yifan, Yang Manmiao, and Yang Lulu's battle prowess were much stronger than before. When they faced the attacks of the foreign races, they also displayed the unique battle blood talent of the battle race. Their performance was extremely eye-catching. Whether or not they could seize the treasures that belonged to them would depend on their own luck. They did not know that all of this was caused by Little Hay. They could have saved a lot of trouble. At the same time, many geniuses from the outside world had also entered. This included the top geniuses who hadn't entered yet, causing the competition to become even more intense. A monk from Tianli Temple unleashed a boundless dragon-shaped Buddhist aura, tearing apart the dragon-shaped battle aura here, displaying an extremely powerful combat talent. A living being from the Jade Emperor clan controlled this area, broke through the array formation, and joined the battle. A palace master from the Dragon Palace, the first palace lord, rushed in with nimble steps, and locked onto an amazing Sciention treasure, the Dragon Scale Shield. The Dragon Scale Shield was not inferior to the Phoenix Feather Fan and Dragon's Pine Whip. They were of the same level, but it specialized in defense. Once one obtained it, they would definitely be invincible. The first Palace Lord was not able to easily obtain the Dragon Scale Shield. A genius from the Phoenix Palace surnamed Xian Yuan joined the competition, and other creatures also wanted to compete for it. For a time, the battlefield became incomparably intense. Waves of shocking explosions could be heard everywhere. If this wasn't the territory of the Dragon Phoenix Tree, it would have been directly destroyed by these powers. Little Hay was lying in front of the Dragon Phoenix Tree, watching the show. This brat sat up like a human, and even grabbed a branch of the Dragon Phoenix Tree and put it in his mouth, looking like a big boss. From time to time he would bark, "Woof, woof." This brat fought pretty well. Unfortunately, this move was a bit off. If he moved a bit faster, it would have been a good move. "Woof, woof, didn't you drink milk?" His attacks are so weak. Serves him right to be killed. Lu Ji was rendered speechless by Little Hay. Originally, Lu Ji had been extremely worried about the safety of Yang Wu and the others, but after hearing Little Hay's barks, he was no longer as worried as he had been before. The only thing he cared about was Yang Lulu's safety. He really wanted to bring her over, but Little Hay wouldn't allow it. She said that it was a good thing for her to temper herself. In any case, she wouldn't die. Lu Ji was infuriated by Little Hay. When he saw that Yang Lulu was in danger, he couldn't help but intervene. No man would be able to stand seeing his woman being beaten. "Woof, woof, young people should temper themselves more. Only then can they live a better life," Little Hay said leisurely. It was paying attention to every corner of the battlefield, so it was aware of all the battles. However, it was still paying attention to Yang Wu's direction the most. In its eyes, Yang Wu's performance was quite good. "I didn't think that he would be able to reach this level in these few years without me by his side." Aside from the miraculous nature of the Regal Nine profound arts, personal hard work and hard work are also inseparable. Continue to work hard. Its fate was linked to Yang Wu's. The stronger Yang Wu was, the more advantageous it would be for it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have allowed the Dragon Phoenix Tree to release the restrictions here. Yang Wu fought fiercely with Hua Hongyun and Yu Yueguang. He used a heaven-shaking and domineering divine palm to send his opponents flying, forcing them to revert to their true forms. The battle prowess of their human forms was much weaker than Yang Wu's. The might of that palm strike made them feel fear. If they didn't use their full strength, they were afraid that they would be killed by Yang Wu. Yang Wu was also determined to make them his first target. Otherwise, it would be difficult for him to obtain the Phoenix Feather Fan. Just as Yang Wu released the Tao of Death, a delicate voice rang out, "You are not allowed to bully the young master." A powerful force swept over from another direction. The roar of a primitive beast rang out, and the images of a barbarian bull and a barbarian horse seemed to appear. Behind them, there was a barbarian god image that was incomparably fierce and frightening. Barbarian Fist. The force of the fist was astonishing, and the force of the fist broke through the sky. The fist shattered Hua Hongyun's sea of flames and Yu Yueguang's space of flames, sending the two of them flying again. The power of this fist was not inferior to the domineering divine palm that Yang Wu had just unleashed. It could easily kill a 2-star saint. A young girl in beastly clothes angrily glared at Hua Hongyun and Yu Yueguang. Her body was filled with shocking brute force. "Little man, just protect yourself from the side. The young master can still handle it," Yang Wu said to Little Man. Even though he was surprised that Little Man possessed such great brute force, he did not want her to participate in the battle. He was afraid that she would be injured. "Young master, go get what you want. I can handle them," Little Man replied with some confidence. She took the initiative to charge at Hua Hongyun and Yu Yueguang. Under Little Hay's guidance, Little Man's beast-taming talent was not only shocking, but even her barbarian bloodline had been completely awakened. Even though she had a delicate body, her brute force was shocking. She could kill a beginner saint with her bare hand. Under Little Man's attack, Hua Hongyun and Yu Yueguang felt a great deal of pressure. Their domineering firepower was actually useless. They were beaten to the point where they could not resist. They had no choice but to call back their feathers and fight against Little Man with their strongest strength. Even if they used their feathers to unleash a different kind of power, they still could not do anything to Little Man. This space was enveloped by the brute force field. They could not even fly. They were quite frightened. They quickly retreated, not daring to fight against Little Man. If it were not for their companions rushing over to help, they would have been beaten to death by Little Man. When Yang Wu saw this scene, he could not help but sigh. If Little Man uses her brute force, I'm afraid even I won't be able to block her. He actually did not know just how much this young woman had suffered over the past few years. She had spent many days and nights cultivating to force herself to become stronger. All of this was to protect him. Yang Wu did not have time to think about this. His gaze fell on the phoenix feather fan again. There were some prodigies who wanted to steal it, but they were directly burned to death by the phoenix projection's power. Yang Wu was already having a hard time dealing with the phoenix projection, let alone the other creatures. It was not something that just anyone could get their hands on. This time, Yang Wu had learned his lesson. He had to end this battle quickly and not give the phoenix projection any more chances. He charged toward the phoenix feather fan as quickly as he could. At the same time, Lan Xiaoji erupted from her chest, wrapping around the phoenix feather fan first. He did not give the phoenix projection a chance to charge out first. His palms were suffused with an extremely cold power. This was the power of extreme cold from his kidneys. It was also the special power of the Frost Spring Mysterious Essence Qi. It could offset a portion of the Phoenix True Fire's power. Yochi! The Phoenix projection charged out again, but it was firmly suppressed by Lan Xiaoji. It was not able to unleash its strongest power immediately. Yang Wu took the opportunity to use the extreme cold power to envelop it. The True Fire's power was reduced a little. His palms firmly grabbed onto the phoenix feather fan. All of his power gathered together, and he forcefully pulled the phoenix feather fan out of the phoenix blood crystal. At the same time, the majestic power of the True Fire spread along Yang Wu's palms and started to burn. His qi of extreme cold and his saint-level skin and flesh were unable to withstand it. His palms were burnt and melted, revealing deep white bones. It was extremely terrifying. If it were someone else, they would probably let go and not take it. However, Yang Wu was a very tenacious person. Although this pain was torturous, he still endured it and took the phoenix feather fan. When he took the phoenix feather fan, the phoenix projection's power returned to the phoenix feather fan. The pressure on Yang Wu was greatly reduced. Lan Xiaoji also quickly returned and helped him remove the burning sensation from his palms. He quickly circulated his power and began to heal the wounds on his palms. Otherwise, his hands would be completely destroyed. I was too reckless. If I had the phoenix blood on my palms, I wouldn't have suffered like this. Yang Wu gasped. After pausing for a moment, he laughed. But I finally got it. Haha. Before Yang Wu could feel proud, a swift and violent power stabbed toward the back of his head. Chapter 1076. The timing of this attack was perfect. Even Yang Wu was caught off guard. Thankfully, he had extraordinary reflexes. In the instant that the attack was about to hit the back of his head, he quickly bent forward and dodged this fatal attack. The opponent obviously wouldn't let Yang Wu go so easily. He continued to attack Yang Wu's vitals. There was no way he would let Yang Wu go. Yang Wu's palms were still healing, so he couldn't counterattack. He activated his ice wing blade without any hesitation and quickly charged toward the opponent. Spurt! The opponent didn't expect Yang Wu to have an invisible attack. He didn't even have a chance to react before his body was sliced in half. Yang Wu turned around and saw that it was a foreign being. Thankfully, the opponent wasn't wearing any armor. Otherwise, his ice wing blade wouldn't have been able to kill him so easily. "Young master, are you all right?" Little man asked worriedly as she rushed over. "I'm fine. How about you? Did they hurt you?" Yang Wu asked. "Hee, I chased them away," little man said with a smug smile. Yang Wu laughed heartily. "Looks like I'll have to leave my safety to you in the future." "All right, I'll protect you for the rest of your life," little man said without any hesitation. When Yang Wu had saved her in the mountain prison, she had already decided to be Yang Wu's servant for the rest of her life. "Silly girl," Yang Wu said with a satisfied smile. To be able to have such a young girl who was completely considerate of him, he was incomparably proud and happy. Yang Wu and little man didn't have time to chat. Some creatures had already seen Yang Wu obtain the phoenix feather fan, so they obviously didn't want to miss it. Some of the flame-corroding demons charged toward Yang Wu. The little man rushed forward and fought with the other party. Yang Wu had been afraid that little man did not have enough combat experience, but after seeing the little man fight, he completely dispelled this doubt. The little man's combat experience was definitely not inferior to his own. He could not help but think to himself, just how did little Hay train little man? This girl must have suffered a lot. Yang Wu didn't have the time to lament here. He cast his gaze elsewhere. He was most concerned about his family. Yang Yifan and Yang Manmi were both in a bitter battle. They were surrounded by many powerful creatures. He didn't hesitate to charge over. The ice wing blade slashed out again, quickly ending the battle for the two of them. Yang Wu also noticed the commotion on Song Qing's side. The battle was too intense, and many creatures didn't want to get close. If it wasn't for the special terrain here, this place would have been completely destroyed by these forces. Yang Wu didn't even think about it. He held the phoenix feather fan and charged toward the battlefield. At this time, the flesh on his palms had completely grown back. They were no different from when he was not injured. His recovery ability was too amazing. "Song Daozhong, I'll help you," Yang Wu roared. He gathered his firepower on the phoenix feather fan and fanned it toward Zhang Daolong and Ba Ben. Zhang Daolong didn't know Yang Wu, but that didn't stop him from sensing that the fiery feather fan in Yang Wu's hand was different. The light of true fire was too obvious. It was a Xiantian level weapon. Ba Ben hated Yang Wu to the bone. He had been defeated by Yang Wu once, so he hated Yang Wu to the bone. Seeing that Yang Wu was holding a fan of true fire, he didn't dare be careless. He quickly rushed toward the dragon's pine whip. He had to get it first. Yang Wu thought that the phoenix feather fan would be enough to destroy the two in front of him. But when he fanned, he found that the firepower had increased by a lot, but it was far from the effect he wanted. Zhang Daolong blocked it with his dragon arms and only pushed him back a few dozen feet. Yang Wu frowned and fanned himself a few more times. Flames flew out like phoenixes, and the raging flames forced all living beings to stay away from them. Even Zhang Daolong dared not touch them. Yang Wu swung his arms continuously, and two true dragons roared out and blocked most of the fire. He retreated a few steps, and a look of realization flashed in his eyes. He said, "You haven't refined the innate warrior weapon, and you're in urgent need of it. Why don't you give it to me?" Zhang Daolong didn't want to waste any more time. He used his heaven-defying talent to get the dragon's pine whip as soon as possible. "Saint Master Yang Wu, be careful of his dragon arms," Song Qing reminded Yang Wu. True dragon arms. Zhang Daolong poured all of his power into his arms, and dragon scales appeared on his arms. Two golden true dragons stood upright, and their domineering might was truly terrifying. "Go!" Zhang Daolong's arm's strength reached its peak, and he swung it out without hesitation. The two golden dragons tore through space and arrived in front of Yang Wu in an instant. They wanted to tear Yang Wu to pieces. This was the true power of the true dragon arms. He hadn't used his full strength just now. Such power could even kill a second-level astral saint. Yang Wu quickly retreated and put away the phoenix feather fan. He realized that the phoenix feather fan couldn't be used by him yet. Just as Zhang Daolong said, he hadn't refined it yet. If he was in a hurry to use it, he wouldn't be able to unleash its full power. He could only use it after he refined it. You have the true dragon arms, but I also have the barbaric god arms. Yang Wu purely wanted to clash head-on with Zhang Daolong and see for himself just how monstrous these top-notch geniuses were. The brute force in his arms was completely activated. His arms seemed to have grown in size as a boundless force gathered on his arms and met Zhang Daolong's force head-on. Barbaric Dragon Fist. Yang Wu's fist force seemed to have transformed into a barbaric dragon, and it collided with the opponent's golden dragon. Rumble, rumble. Different dragon-shaped battle chis kept colliding, and a lot of power splashed in all directions. Yang Wu and Zhang Daolong didn't retreat. The two of them approached each other at the same time and crazily attacked each other in close combat. Zhang Daolong had cultivated a dragon-shaped saint body. Their dragon tiger sex, dragon tiger saint pill, could be said to be peerless. Moreover, he had soaked in the dragon marrow pool and gone through all kinds of tempering. His physical body was comparable to a saint's. It was reasonable for him to have such battle strength. However, he was still inferior to Yang Wu. If Yang Wu had the saint dragon body, then his could only be considered a fake saint dragon body. There was still a gap between the two. His true dragon arms weren't necessarily stronger than Yang Wu's barbaric god arms. During the close combat, his arms were in great pain from Yang Wu's attack. He felt as if he had encountered a mid-level saint-level creature that was crushing all his talents. Yang Wu was also surprised that Zhang Daolong had such a battle body. If he hadn't been tempered by the dragon fiend Qi, he definitely wouldn't be able to compete with Zhang Daolong. He exclaimed in his heart, "It seems that I can't underestimate the top-notch monsters of the various forces." Just as Yang Wu was about to suppress Zhang Daolong in one go, Zhang Daolong's figure suddenly changed. He retreated quite a distance and asked Yang Wu, "Are you the Saint Master Yang Wu of the Apothecary Union?" Yang Wu couldn't be bothered to reply. They were already fighting. How could he have time to chat with his opponent? Just as he was about to pursue, Zhang Daolong formed a seal with both hands. An ancient rune seal appeared in his hands. He said faintly, "I originally wanted to let you understand your defeat. Since you're in such a hurry, I'll suppress you first." Zhang Daolong muttered for a while, and threw out the ancient rune seal in his hand. Dragon Seal Town. Suddenly, a beam of golden light flashed, and a lifelike real dragon appeared in the air, instantly grabbing at Yang Wunu. The strength of this true dragon was too strong. Even a mid-level Saint Realm creature wouldn't be easy to deal with. Yang Wu didn't have that kind of fighting strength, so he was instantly smashed to the ground by the true dragon. The dragon talisman suppressed his internal organs, and blood gushed out of his body. After using the dragon seal, Zhang Daolong's strength also weakened. He quickly swallowed a pill to recover his strength. At this time, Song Qing and Ba Ben's battle had reached its climax. He couldn't spare any time to save Yang Wu. In his panic, he was injured by Ba Ben, and his opponent took the dragon's pine whip first. Fortunately, the dragon's pine whip was protected by the dragon-shaped battle chi. Ba Ben couldn't take it immediately. Song Qing couldn't care less about the dragon's pine whip. He hurriedly attacked Zhang Daolong. Zhang Daolong originally thought that Yang Wu would be killed by the dragon seal. However, he found that Yang Wu's vitality was extremely tenacious. His life force was still there, and he could resist to a certain extent. He couldn't help but increase the power of the dragon seal. He was determined to take down Yang Wu. Song Qing also arrived. Both of them had exhausted a lot of their strength. If they wanted to determine the winner, they would have to fight with their lives on the line. Zhang Daolong didn't want to fight with his life on the line. He still wanted the dragon's pine whip. Just as Song Qing was about to unleash his strongest sword technique to defeat Zhang Daolong, another prodigy from the Dragon Tiger sect intervened. A tiger's roar reverberated through Song Qing's eardrums, causing them to bleed profusely. "Senior brother, I'm here to help you." The Dragon Tiger sect's war tiger, Su Buli, came. Su Buli's strength was similar to Zhang Daolong's. Moreover, his battle strength was still at its peak. His arrival indeed put a lot of pressure on Song Qing. "It seems like you guys are forcing me to kill you," Song Qing said faintly. The long sword in his hand was quickly replaced by another battle sword. It was a saint sword. Originally, he didn't want to use a saint sword. However, at this point, he had no choice but to use it. Just as Song Qing was going all out to fight 1 against 2, a demonic palm sneaked up on him from behind. Song Qing's reaction was still a little late. His back suffered a heavy blow. Zhang Daolong and Su Buli's attacks came again, causing him to spit out blood. His aura rapidly decreased. Yang Wu saw with his own eyes that Song Qing was beaten to the point of spitting out blood by the 3 top geniuses. His life was in danger. A burst of anger surged from the bottom of his heart. The true dragon in his energy center roared continuously. The dragon pearl that had been polished to perfection was swallowed into its stomach. The true dragon's body grew rapidly, and its dragon aura soared into the sky. Thousands of rays of light shone in the sky. Even the dragon's seal was forcefully sent flying. "You guys are too much." Chapter 1077. Previously, after Yang Wu had gone into seclusion to refine the dragon chi, he had already reached the critical point of the top-level dragon transformation realm. He could break through to the top-level dragon transformation realm at any time, but in order to polish himself to perfection, he had been suppressing the breakthrough. After a period of intense battles, he had finally polished the last bit of flaw to the limit, and now was the best time to break through. He definitely couldn't watch Song Qing die here. If that happened, he would be the sinner of Wudong. The dragon chi on his body surged as a powerful force exploded. The dragon talisman was sent flying. His power had reached a new height. His battle blood was boiling. His eyes were filled with battle intent and killing intent. He wanted to avenge Song Qing. His first target wasn't Zhang Daolong and Su Buli, but Sky Overlord Demon Ba Ben. It was this guy's sneak attack that caused Song Qing to be severely injured. He had to kill this demon. Yang Wu's power had just broken through and was at the strongest stage. His speed was like lightning. In an instant, he appeared behind Ba Ben and threw out a barbaric fist. Barbaric Elephant Fist. Yang Wu used the barbaric tribe's strongest fist technique. It was like a giant elephant appeared in the sky and stomped on the ground. Bang! Ba Ben didn't even have the chance to react. His demonic body was shattered by Yang Wu's fist, and he was sent flying far away. Yang Wu didn't want to let him go so easily. The ice wing blade flew out and went straight for Ba Ben's head. Ba Ben was cut in half by the ice wing blade. His demonic blood splattered all over the ground. His demonic body became the nourishment of the sacred item. Zhang Daolong, Su Buli, and the surrounding sky prides who were watching the battle were all shocked. Ba Ben's strength was extremely powerful, and many creatures had witnessed it with their own eyes. However, he was killed by Yang Wu in 1 or 2 moves. It was simply extremely abnormal. Yang Wu didn't have the time to care about other people's gazes. He looked at Zhang Daolong and Su Buli and left behind an afterimage. His real body had already appeared beside Zhang Daolong and swung down his barbaric god arm again. Zhang Daolong reacted quickly and raised his true dragon arm to block. Crack! Zhang Daolong's saint arm was directly shattered, causing him to scream in pain. This was the talent he was so proud of, but it was actually not a match for his opponent. How did his opponent's battle prowess increase so much? Su Buley wouldn't just watch as Zhang Daolong was chased by Yang Wu. He threw out the tiger talisman and formed a seal with both hands. He muttered something and there was a flash of light. A huge tiger appeared and bit towards Yang Wu. Tiger Talisman Town. This was a secret technique unique to the dragon and tiger sect. Their talisman techniques were unrivaled in the world and had caused many people in the world to suffer a lot. Even now, they were still successful in every endeavor. The might of this tiger talisman was not much weaker than the dragon talisman that Zhang Daolong had just used. Could even kill a saint. This time, Yang Wu wasn't afraid. After breaking through to the peak of the dragon transformation realm, his battle prowess had increased by more than one level. War Blood Formless was also affected, and his battle prowess was increasing at a crazy rate. Seeing the tiger pouncing at him, he treated it as a target to vent his anger on. Zhenwu Boxing immediately struck out. Zhenwu Boxing. One after another, the earth-shaking fist energy collided with the huge tiger. It was like a collision between stars. The commotion caused was too shocking. Break for me! Yang Wu roared in a spurt of energy. He released all his strength and punched out heavily again. Bang! The tiger that could kill a mid-tier saint was blown up by Yang Wu's punch. Obvious wounds appeared on Yang Wu's fist. This tiger wasn't to be trifled with. Even if his battle prowess had increased, he was still injured. The tiger talisman was almost torn apart. Su Buley was in great pain. He kept the tiger talisman and was about to fight with Yang Wu again when Yang Wu appeared behind him. He gave him a fierce kick and smashed him into the ground. When Yang Wu continued to kick him, Zhang Daolong had already controlled the dragon talisman to block in front of Yang Wu. Yang Wu was about to destroy the dragon talisman. Unexpectedly, Zhang Daolong took Su Buley and retreated quickly. We don't want this dragon spine whip anymore. The two top monsters of the dragon and tiger sect withdrew from the fight for the dragon spine whip just like that. The other creatures didn't dare to come close. They were afraid that Yang Wu's overbearing battle chi would hit them. They wouldn't be able to withstand it. However, there would always be some reckless creatures who wanted to provoke them and see if they could take the opportunity to gain some benefit. Demonic Soul Devouring. A dream god demon appeared in the dark. He attacked Yang Wu's soul from afar. A demonic soul quickly entered Yang Wu's holy court. This demonic soul directly devoured Yang Wu's soul in the holy court. It wanted to invade Yang Wu's soul and control him. This was a soul attack that was impossible to guard against. Yang Wu had just broken through to the top-tier dragon transformation realm. His soul in the holy court had also benefited greatly. His soul power was at its peak. Before the demonic soul could touch Yang Wu's soul, his soul had already attacked the demonic soul. His soul fist instantly destroyed the demonic soul. Sneaky thing, go to hell, Yang Wu muttered. The ice wing blade drew a beautiful arc in the air as it slashed towards the dream god demon. The dream god demon's strongest point was his demonic soul. His senses were astonishing. He was able to sense Yang Wu's ice wing blade. He used his powerful soul power to control the rocks on the ground to block the ice wing blade. However, the ice wing blade was too powerful. It shattered the rocks and continued to attack the dream god demon. Are you trying to bully me because I can't fight? The dream god demon said unhappily. A powerful demonic soul weapon appeared. It was a demonic sacred bell. Under his control, the demonic sacred bell's powerful soul power directly approached the ice wing blade. Are you sure you can fight me? Yang Wu's true body had already charged over. He mercilessly sent out a tyrannical divine palm. Raging flames enveloped the dream god demon. The dream god demon panicked. The dream god's face was filled with panic. 3 puppets appeared in front of him. They were all human prodigies. He wanted to use them to block Yang Wu's attacks. Yang Wu originally wanted to kill the 3 human geniuses as well. However, after a moment of hesitation, He changed the direction of his palm and sent it to the side. He didn't kill the three geniuses. Among the three, one of them was a member of the tranquil martial school. Who would have thought that he would be controlled by the dream god demon? The dream god demon continued to shake the demonic sacred bell, hoping that the powerful chimes would cause Yang Wu's soul to tremble. Unfortunately, Yang Wu's soul was stronger than he expected. A soul eye suddenly opened and directly shot him to death. A soul eye could destroy a soul. This was no joke. As Yang Wu grew stronger, the power of his soul eye could easily kill ordinary saint-level life forms. To many life forms, the dream god demon was a demon. It was difficult for them to guard against him. He could easily invade their souls and control them. In the end, they would do things against their will. Yang Wu hated the dream god demon. Back in the City of Redemption, Shu Yujun was controlled by the dream god demon and almost died. How could he let the dream god demon go? After the dream god demon was killed, his demonic sacred bell naturally fell into Yang Wu's hands. There was also the fire-devouring strange pearl that he obtained from killing Yu Yueshao. Although these two items weren't Xiantian items, they were still rare treasures. After Yang Wu killed the two demons and defeated the Dragon Tiger Sect's disciples, Song Qing finally obtained the Dragon Spine Whip. Song Qing held the Dragon Eye in his hand. It wasn't as difficult as he thought to obtain the Dragon Spine Whip. "Thank you, Saint Master Yang Wu." Song Qing looked at Yang Wu with gratitude. "We're all family. No need to be so polite," Yang Wu said with incomparable generosity. "Saint Master Yang Wu, I will remember your words. In the future, when I ask you to help me refine pills, don't refuse," Song Qing said with a happy smile. He had completely forgotten about the injuries on his body. Wu Tang had a divine alchemist in charge. Did he need to ask Yang Wu for help? Song Qing was just being polite, but he had unknowingly pulled his relationship with Yang Wu closer. At this time, Yang Wu looked in other directions again. Shu Yujun and Qing Jing were collecting the antiques they wanted, but they were also being snatched by others. Especially Qing Jing, who was aloof from worldly affairs, looked like she was easy to bully. Yang Wu originally wanted to go over and help, but when Qing Jing unleashed her power, the demons there were so scared that they hid as far away as possible. Even the other races didn't dare to get close to her for fear of being purified by her purifying power. She was a naturally gifted person. Once she unleashed her power, she was very strong. Yang Wu didn't need to worry about Shu Yujun. Her swordsmanship was very strong, and she had already learned her own swordsmanship. Right now, she was fighting with the other creatures for the items she wanted. Just as Yang Wu looked elsewhere, the three humans controlled by Dream God woke up. They couldn't remember what had happened, but they could remember who had killed Dream God. The three of them all went up to Yang Wu to express their gratitude. "Thank you, Saint Master Yang Wu, for saving our lives." A woman who used to be a member of Jing Wu went up to express her gratitude. This woman came from the 100 Flower sect. She was one of Shi Wenmei's senior sisters. The other two came from different factions. One was from the Phantom sect and the other was from the Red Cloak sect. Yang Wu didn't have time to deal with them. He waved his hand and told them to leave. After seeing the items of Dragon and Phoenix here, how could they be willing to leave? They also joined in the fight for the items. The woman from the 100 Flower sect was willing to stay by Yang Wu's side. She knew her limits. Even if she was interested in the items here, she didn't dare to casually take them. Yang Wu reminded her, "If you don't move, the items here won't be attacked. Once you move, prepare to deal with the Dragon and Phoenix battle chi." "Thank you, Saint Master, for your reminder." The woman from the 100 Flower sect once again expressed her gratitude. Yang Wu didn't take it to heart. He saw that there were many astonishing items of Dragon and Phoenix in this place. This was probably a place where true dragons and phoenixes were buried. He was also very interested in these items, but he was more concerned about the whereabouts of the mysterious essence chi. He could feel that the mysterious essence chi was in this place. Where was it? His gaze locked onto the dragon and phoenix tree in front of him. Chapter 1078. In front of the dragon phoenix tree, little Hay watched the battle leisurely as if it was watching a show. It was not worried at all that Yang Wu, little man, and the others would die. After Yang Wu ended the battle, he saw little Hay standing there in a daze. He gritted his teeth and said, "Little Hay, you bastard." For some reason, when he was close to little Hay, he could feel that everything that happened here had something to do with little Hay. Little Hay said proudly, "Little Wu, come and bite me if you can." Then, it shouted, "There are only 49 dragon phoenix fruits. If you don't fight for them now, there will be none left." The prodigies were shocked. Their goal was the dragon phoenix fruits. They were as valuable as innate stage weapons. There were so few of them, and many people would fight for them. If they did not hurry, there would be none left. Thus, many prodigies rushed toward the dragon phoenix tree. At the same time, little Hay also asked the dragon phoenix tree to remove all the restrictions. Even the prodigies who did not have any items could rush in to fight for the dragon phoenix fruit. Just like that, a large number of people rushed toward the dragon phoenix tree. The first thing they wanted was to snatch the dragon phoenix fruit. The restrictions here have disappeared. Go and fight for the dragon phoenix fruit. Haha, the heavens are helping me. The dragon phoenix fruits are mine. Anyone who dares to fight for them will be my enemy and will be killed without mercy. Who do you think you are? Get lost. The dragon phoenix fruits are mine. Brothers and sisters of the Battle Alliance, gather your strength and listen to my command. Fight for the dragon phoenix fruit. Many geniuses rushed in, and the battle became even more intense. The smart leaders gathered their teams and unleashed the power of their teams, charging in the direction of the dragon phoenix tree. The other races also began to unite. They had to get the dragon phoenix fruit. Little Hay, you are ruthless. Yang Wu let out a long whistle and hurriedly transmitted a message to his companions. Come with me to snatch the dragon phoenix fruit. Leave everything else aside first. There were not many people around Yang Wu. Little Man, Shu Yujun, Qing Jing, Yang Ba, Su Zhu, Song Qing, and the others numbered less than 10. Now that the restriction had been broken, too many people had entered, including the people from Wudong. However, their numbers were not large. If they did not seize the time to seize the dragon phoenix fruit, they were afraid that all their efforts would be in vain. Babies, come over and escort young master to obtain the dragon phoenix fruit. Xiao Man did not hesitate to summon her group of ferocious beasts. This group was the real force, and a few of them were saint-level ferocious beasts. How strong was their combat strength? Who could stop them? Little Man, this is a test for your young master. If your young master is not in mortal danger, you are not allowed to let those vicious beasts help him. Little Hay transmitted a message to Little Man. Little Hay, how can you be like this? I won't do it. Little Man expressed her dissatisfaction with Little Hay for the first time. This is for your young master's own good. Don't worry, he won't die. Little Hay added. If anything happens to the young master, I will never forgive you for the rest of my life. Little Man was very serious. You little girl. Little Hay smiled bitterly. Little Man still obeyed Little Hay's instructions and did not let the vicious beasts help Yang Wu. However, she was not stupid. She made use of the vicious beasts to stop the Devil Clan, trying to reduce the number of experts who rushed in. Unknowingly, she reduced the pressure on Yang Wu. The reason why she chose to deal with the Devil Clan was because she knew that the Battle Clan and the Yang Clan were sworn enemies. Using them to vent her anger was a good choice. Yang Wu used his fastest speed, intending to obtain the Dragon Phoenix fruit before calmly sensing the location of the profound essence chi. He believed that no one would care about the profound essence chi. Moreover, it was definitely not easy to obtain. Yang Wu had the geographical advantage, and was already in this space. It was very fast for him to rush over. When he saw that he was very close to the dragon phoenix tree, he realized that there was a fellow who was faster than him and was rushing towards him. Human, die! DMO of the Jade Emperor clan shouted. An earth dragon rose from the ground and charged towards Yang Wu. The earth dragon's strength was enough to threaten a second-level Star Rune Realm expert. This was also the reason why DMO was so strong. DMO had long wanted to take revenge on Yang Wu. Now was the best opportunity. He did not really care about the dragon phoenix fruit. Instead, he was more interested in a certain kind of energy that attracted him. It was a type of profound essence chi. Other living beings might not be able to sense it, but he could feel it clearly. It was just that before he obtained the profound essence chi, he wanted this young man to die first. If Yang Wu had not broken through to the peak dragon transformation realm, he would still be afraid of DMO's attack. But now, he did not care at all. He casually punched out, and the tyrannical power of his fist directly shattered the earth dragon. DMO was shocked and he cried out involuntarily, "How can you be so strong? Don't bother me again. Otherwise, I'll send you on your way." Yang Wu did not have time to bother about DMO. He left behind a ruthless sentence and continued to rush towards the dragon phoenix fruit. "Stop him. Don't let him get the dragon phoenix fruit." A sharp voice rang out. Following that, a wave of fierce attacks came towards Yang Wu's direction. These attacks were hard to defend against. It was a sneak attack from the Blood Ghost Troop. The Blood Ghost Troop was formed by the geniuses from the Blood Fiend sect and Ghost Cult. They had also recruited a large number of people with evil intentions. Among them were the geniuses from the Corpse sect, 100 Poison sect, and other top forces. There were quite a number of people. There were more than 200 people. The one who gave the order just now was the fourth in command of the Blood Ghost Troop, Lai Bao. Previously, Lai Bao had almost taken down Zhang Mingshan and Yin Suxian. He did not expect Yang Wu to intervene. Not only did Yang Wu save them, he even killed his subordinate. He had always kept this grudge in his heart. Other than that, Yang Wu's head was also quite valuable. He was one of the top thousands on the wanted list. Who wouldn't want to take down his head? There were no saints here to protect them. It was the best time to kill Yang Wu. These were all desperados. Although they also wanted the dragon phoenix fruit, it was something that their leader deserved. It had nothing to do with them. It was better to kill Yang Wu and get the reward. The Blood Fiend Barrier of the Blood Fiend sect and the Ghost Shadow Whip of the Ghost Cult were all extremely evil offensive martial weapons. When they attacked together, they were still very threatening. Yang Wu still did not plan to pay attention to them. Instead, he sped up and rushed towards the dragon phoenix tree. He was so fast that no one could stop him. Even the Ghost Cult, who were known for their speed, did not have such ability. In a few blinks of an eye, Yang Wu was already close to the dragon phoenix tree. A genius from the Ghost Cult cursed, "I don't believe that I can't take you down." In the next moment, a soul-chasing puppet appeared in his hand. This was a broken sacred weapon. If he shot it with all his strength, it could unleash a power comparable to a saint-level creature's attack. Moreover, it had a special feature. It could lock onto the target. No matter where they ran, it would chase them until it hit them. In addition, a genius from the Blood Fiend sect also took out a Blood Burst Pearl and threw it at Yang Wu. The Blood Burst Pearl was an extremely evil item. It was a one-time item. Not only was the power of the explosion powerful, but the evil blood chi it produced would also devour the blood of living creatures, causing them to be unable to circulate their blood chi and die. Yang Wu reacted quickly and dodged the soul-chasing puppet's attack. However, the soul-chasing puppet turned around and continued to pursue Yang Wu. At the same time, the Blood Burst Pearl flew over. The black tortoise battle armor appeared on Yang Wu's body and instantly shattered the soul-chasing puppet. The Blood Burst Pearl was also repelled by the powerful rebounding force, scaring the sky prides of the House of Blood. In a few blinks of an eye, Yang Wu was caught up by those geniuses. Another wave of crazy attacks came at him. Lai Bao even revealed a ferocious expression as he cursed, "Little bastard, if I don't kill you today, I'll change my surname to yours." Yang Wu was completely enraged. The dragon phoenix fruit was of great importance, and these guys were still chasing after him. Did they really think that he was afraid of them? "You don't have the qualifications to change your surname to mine. Go and change your surname to King Yama." The battle armor on Yang Wu's body became thicker and thicker. It was as if a real black tortoise had appeared. The defensive force was like an 8 trigrams formation that spun rapidly. The force of the deflecting force had reached an unprecedented level. Many of the tyrannical attacks were all deflected and even rebounded. Yang Wu didn't care about the dragon phoenix fruit anymore. He charged towards Blood Fiend and the rest. The ice-winged blade took the lead. It was like an invisible vanguard that rushed to the front to open up a path. The two people at the front didn't even know what was going on when their heads disappeared. At the same time, Yang Wu spread out his profound wings and continued to increase his speed. He dodged the attacks and landed beside one of them. His fist was like a dragon emerging from the sea as he mercilessly punched the opponent's heart. Bang. The opponent was also a first-rate genius. Unfortunately, he had no power to resist Yang Wu. His heart-protecting mirror was shattered by a single punch. His heart was also shattered. Yang Wu didn't even look at him. His figure flickered as he furiously kicked the person who was riding on the ghost horse. The kick was like a whip, splitting the ghost horse into 2 halves. The person on the horse didn't have a good ending either. One of his thighs was torn off. Blood gushed out profusely from the wound. He was in so much pain that he screamed like a pig being slaughtered. The Tao of Death spread out. Majestic death chi spread towards the people who were rushing towards him, quickly depriving them of their vitality. Even though these people were all top-notch geniuses with extraordinary battle prowess, strong willpower, and powerful defenses, the Tao of Death didn't just target the physical body. It also targeted the soul. The soul and willpower were especially easy to wear down. Moreover, it caused them to feel fear, causing their minds to become unbalanced and their battle prowess to plummet. Yang Wu held the double-edged tri-dragon spear in one hand and the mysterious phoenix sword in the other. He was also controlling the invisible ice-winged blade. He was like the god of death, reaping the lives of these geniuses in front of him. Puff puff in the blink of an eye, a few heads fell to the ground, killing a person in 10 steps, leaving no trace for 1,000 miles. Such a powerful killing force had completely frightened Lai Bao. He tore the imperial decree apart, determined to injure Yang Wu. "I don't believe you can resist the power of the imperial decree," Lai Bao roared, using the power of the imperial decree to overcome his fear. "The imperial decree is nothing." Chapter 1079. The power of the imperial edict only contained a trace of the saint's power, and its power was not even 1/10 of the saint's true strength. However, this 1/10 of the power was a power that any creature below the saint level would find difficult to resist. Lai Bao tore apart the power of the 2 imperial edicts, hoping to stop Yang Wu and not give Yang Wu a chance to continue his killing. Otherwise, all the people of Blood Ghost would be wiped out. Just as Yang Wu said, the imperial edict was nothing to him. When the power of the saint flashed, Yang Wu rushed out as fast as he could, and the double-edged 3-dragon spear pierced towards Lai Bao's forehead. The power of the imperial edict blocked Yang Wu's attack, and Lai Bao quickly retreated. He was so shocked that he broke out in a cold sweat. If he had been a little slower in tearing apart the imperial edict, Yang Wu's spear could have killed him on the spot. However, before he could be happy, Yang Wu slashed out with the mysterious phoenix sword in his other hand. The power was like a meteor catching up with the moon, and raging flames erupted, illuminating the world. Another imperial edict blocked the power of Yang Wu's attack, but the power of the imperial edict was completely torn apart. Lai Bao watched Yang Wu's consecutive attacks. Just as Yang Wu's old power was about to dissipate, and before the new power could be generated, he threw the blood-burst pearl at Yang Wu. He revealed a ferocious expression and shouted, "Die!" Yang Wu looked at the incoming blood-burst bead and did not try to block it. Instead, he let the black tortoise armor on his body block it. The blood-burst bead did not get close to the armor, and instead, a powerful rebounding force rebounded the blood-burst bead back to Lai Bao, giving Lai Bao a fright. As Lai Bao hurriedly retreated, Yang Wu had already controlled the ice wing blade to kill him from behind. After Yang Wu's strength had increased, the power of the ice wing blade had also increased by a lot. Its attack speed had also increased, and in an instant, it had slashed onto Lai Bao's back. Lai Bao was wearing a holy battle armor, and once again, he was lucky enough to escape this calamity. However, he was still frozen by the cold air. He cried out involuntarily, "Quickly go and kill him!" Yang Wu did not care about the others for the time being. He exploded with the fastest speed, leaving only an afterimage in the air. The next moment, he appeared beside Lai Bao and slashed out with the mysterious phoenix sword. Puff! Lai Bao was frozen by the cold air, and his movements were much slower. He could not escape Yang Wu's fatal sword, and was beheaded on the spot. Seeing this, the people of Blood Ghost slowed down. Yang Wu was too ferocious. Even Lai Bao was killed just like that. How could they be his opponent? Fortunately, the people here were all fugitives and had all sorts of killing method. Some of the more daring ones still chose to make a move. Poison gas. Soul-searching claw. Devouring blood. There was a terrifying poisonous gas that permeated this space, a terrifying claw that attacked one's soul, and a powerful innate ability that could devour flesh and blood. These terrifying attacks were not something that any top monster would want to come into contact with. They were too evil and strange. The path of death. Yang Wu's divine court Dao flower swayed, and a domineering aura of death enveloped the area. He began to exploit the life force of the surrounding creatures, affecting their souls and wills. At the same time, he slaughtered with his spear and sword. Puff puff! In the face of absolute power, any evil methods could not withstand a single blow. Yang Wu still killed one person with one move, and no one could stop him. Their attacks were all deflected when they landed on Yang Wu's body. Even if they were lucky enough to break through his defenses, they could not hurt his sacred dragon body. Not far away, Kuan Mingzi, who was watching the battle, ordered, "Ming gang members, listen up. Kill Yang Wu with all your might." Another Battle League member said, "Kill Yang Wu at all costs." There were many people from the Ming gang and Battle League. If they joined forces to kill Yang Wu, it would not be as simple as a group. They wanted to torture Yang Wu to death. There were nearly 1,000 people from the three sides, and every one of them was a top genius. Each of them had their own unique skills, imperial edicts, and even innate abilities. If they swarmed together, even a saint would be chopped into meat paste. This time, Little Man could not take it anymore. She ignored Little Hay's order and ordered the ferals beside her, "Whoever dares to bully my young master, ask my babies first." Roar roar. Hundreds of ferals roared in unison. They had just fought with the demons for a while, and were at their most ferocious. They charged toward the Blood Wraith, Ming Gang, and Battle League members. "You want to kill my master? Have you asked for my permission?" Yang Ba did not hesitate to abandon the item he was fighting for and charged toward the people surrounding Yang Wu. Su Zhu did not hesitate either. He transformed into a Tiger King and charged toward them. Shu Yujun and Qing Jing gathered their companions from their respective sects to support Yang Wu. Whoever dares to help Yang Wu will be punished by being expelled from the Five Mountains sect. Liyue roared angrily. At this moment, they were helping Zhou Shihan fight for the Dragon Phoenix fruit. If the people from Heng Mountain and Heng Mountain left, it would be very disadvantageous for the Five Mountains sect. Shu Yujun and Qing Jing, did not seem to hear Li Yue's words. They continued to lead their few people to help Yang Wu. Rebellion, rebellion. We will not let this matter rest. Li Yue's delicate face was distorted as she shouted. The ones who could provide the greatest support to Yang Wu were the little man's ferocious beasts. Their numbers were large enough to hold back the people from the Ming Gang and the Fighting League. Only then would Yang Wu have enough time to kill the people from the Blood Ghost. However, the people from the Blood Ghost had learned their lesson. Those who had the Imperial Edicts tore them apart. The power of more than 10 Imperial Edicts descended. Some of them were high-level Imperial Edicts. The power released was very strong. Even a sage would not be able to get rid of it in a short time. The other prodigies continued to attack Yang Wu. Even if they could kill Yang Wu in a short time, they wanted to exhaust all of Yang Wu's strength. They did not believe that Yang Wu could not be killed. Yang Wu was indeed feeling the pressure. The power in his energy center was very strong. However, in the face of such a crazy attack, he did not dare to say that he could hold on until the end. You want to kill my master? Have you asked for my permission? At this moment, Lu Ji also slowed down. With a shout, he controlled the natural formation runes here to blast at the power of the Imperial Edict. Originally, Lu Ji could control the natural formation and was an invincible existence. However, Little Hay was still obstructing him. She made the Dragon Phoenix tree restrain most of the power of the formation and only let Lu Ji borrow some of it. He wanted to help Yang Wu, but he was powerless. Junior apprentice Brother Mo, come over and help Saint Master Yang Wu. Song Qing's voice rang out. A sword light tore through the air from a direction and gathered with the people from Wu Dang. That person said faintly, Senior brother, I'm here. The first sword of the 7 heroes of Wu Dang was Invincible Mo. He was the most talented person among the 7 heroes. He was also the youngest. He was not even 50 years old, but he had already reached the peak of the dragon transformation realm. In the future, he would be a guardian elder of Wu Dang. 7-section sword formation, rise. Song Qing shouted again. The 7 heroes of Wu Dang took their positions in different positions. 7 swords flashed at the same time. 7 sword chi entangled together, forming a powerful sword formation. The majestic sword chi shook the surroundings. Wu Dang's 7-section sword formation was a famous sword formation. Once the sword was formed, its power was limitless. Even saint-level creatures could be easily killed. The requirements to master the 7-section sword formation were very strict. The 7 people had to be of equal strength, and each of them had to have comprehended sword intent. Otherwise, they would not be able to unleash the full power of the sword formation. The 7 heroes of Wu Dang were all dragons and phoenixes among men. Their strength had reached the peak of the dragon transformation realm. They had all comprehended sword intent long ago. They had cultivated the 7-section sword formation for many years. With perfect coordination, they had the power to kill gods and slay demons. Kill! Song Qing shouted. The 7 people and 7 swords rushed towards Yang Wu to support him. The sword formation enveloped the area. Everywhere it went, sword chi filled the air. Every sword chi was like the attack of a saint. Who could stand up to it? Many prodigies were so frightened that they hurriedly dodged. Some couldn't dodge in time and were quickly turned into a pool of blood. The 7 heroes of Wu Dang were chivalrous. Getting rid of the strong and helping the weak didn't mean that they wouldn't kill. Dragon Tiger Talisman Formation blocked the 7-section sword formation. Suddenly, another force intervened. It was the people from the Dragon and Tiger sect. 13 of their Sky Prides had already gathered together. Each of them held a dragon and tiger talisman and rushed towards the 7 heroes of Wu Dang. Although the dragon-tiger talisman in their hands wasn't as powerful as Zhang Daolong's and Su Buli's, when combined, the power of the talisman was enough to block the 7 heroes of Wu Dang. Roar! Roar! In an instant, several dragon-shaped battle chi roared. Several white tigers appeared in the air. The dragon and tiger appeared at the same time. The dragon and tiger's aura was astonishing. The power of the dragon and tiger charged towards the sword formation. Millions of sword chi also swept towards the dragon-tiger battle chi. Boom! Boom! Wu Dang and the dragon-tiger sect were two giant forces adjacent to each other. They cultivated different Tao. It was rumored that the ancestors of both sides were brothers. However, because of the different Tao that they believed in, it caused the disciples of each sect to compete with each other. In the end, they saw each other as enemies. This wasn't something that happened in a day or two. Now that they were on this battlefield, they naturally wouldn't let go of the chance to clash. The Dragon-Tiger sect's people blocked the 7 heroes of Wu Dang, not only because they didn't want them to support Yang Wu, but more importantly, they wanted to buy time for Zhang Daolong and Su Bewley to obtain the Dragon Phoenix fruit. They also didn't want the 7 heroes of Wu Dang to obtain the Dragon Phoenix fruit. The battle erupted fiercely. Many top prodigies had already rushed to the Dragon Phoenix tree and were harvesting the Dragon Phoenix fruit. Among them were the Dragon Palace's Lord Palace Lord, Ming Gang's Kuan Mingzi, Blood Ghost's Shui Wuming, Jade Emperor's DMO, Death God's Son of God, Tianli Temple's Jin Juezi. All of them were the strongest prodigies. Moreover, they could be the strongest in their respective races. They even had the chance to obtain the title of Invincible Emperor. Each of these people had astonishing auras and method. It was as if the Son of God and Demon had descended. No one dared to block their path. Just as they were about to obtain the Dragon Phoenix fruit, the Dragon Phoenix fruit erupted. A dragon and a phoenix rushed out at the same time. This was the power of protection. Whoever could defeat the power of the dragon and phoenix would be qualified to obtain the Dragon Phoenix fruit. If they couldn't destroy the power of the dragon and phoenix, they might even be killed by the power of the dragon and phoenix. This game isn't bad, Little Hay said leisurely while lying in front of the Dragon Phoenix tree. Chapter 1080. Lu Ji, Yangba, Su Zhu, Shu Yujun, Qing Jing, Wu Dang, and the others shared the pressure on Yang Wu. However, Yang Wu still had to face a lot of enemies. The overwhelming power kept bombarding him. No matter how powerful he was, he couldn't resist all of them. Moreover, there was the power of the Imperial Edict. Yang Wu's battle was going to be very difficult. Yang Wu's Black Tortoise armor's defensive power was abnormal. However, it needed Xian Qi to support it. He could hold on for half an hour or even an hour. However, it was impossible for him to hold on for half a day or even a day. None of these geniuses were weak. Each of them basically had the power to challenge a half-sage. Many of them had the combat power to deal with ordinary saint-level creatures. Even a saint-level creature would be chopped into meat paste when 200 or 300 of them joined forces. Yang Wu killed more than a dozen people with the Ice Wing Blade and the Path of Death. However, it was far from enough. If he couldn't kill his way out of this encirclement, he would definitely die. It seems that I can't hide some of my trump cards anymore. Yang Wu shouted. An alchemist robe covered his body. It wasn't a sacred armor. However, it was of a higher grade than ordinary sacred armor. It was a top-grade sacred armor. Yang Wu had received a reward for becoming a top-grade sacred elder of the Alchemist Union. Even a high-grade saint-level creature might not be able to break through the defensive power of this top-grade sacred armor. Under normal circumstances, Yang Wu didn't want to use defensive armor or armor. His physical body was comparable to a sacred armor. There was no need to add another layer of protection. However, it was different now. The overwhelming power here was too strong. If he wasn't careful, he could be slaughtered. He didn't want to die young. After wearing the top-grade sacred armor, Yang Wu could reduce the defensive power. He wasn't afraid of being killed by those forces. Now, the only thing he had to think about was how to kill his way out. These guys in front of him were like crazy as they surrounded him and attacked him. It was just like the scene when he was surrounded by hundreds of prison slaves in the mountain prison, except this time it was even more dangerous. Under such circumstances, even using the soul eye attack might not be enough. The guys around him had learned their lesson. They didn't get close to Yang Wu. Instead, they blasted their battle skills at him from a distance. They wanted to exhaust Yang Wu to death. Even though Yang Wu had put on the top-grade sacred armor, he still had to protect his head when surrounded by these attacks. Once his head was severely injured, he would die. Perhaps using the sacred mandala was a good opportunity. Just like the little man, those sacred beasts had signed a master-servant contract with her. Those sacred beasts didn't break the rules when they killed their enemies. However, Yang Wu was extremely stubborn. He recalled the 10 years he had spent in the God of War pagoda. He had fought with those young martial gods. Which battle hadn't been extremely dangerous? It was precisely under that kind of environment that he had been forced to his limit. He also wanted to use these prodigies to force his limit. I'm not going to rely on the holy mandala flower. I'm going to rely on my own strength to kill the enemy. No matter how many enemies there are, I can still kill them all. Yang Wu roared to the sky and chose a direction to attack. Those attacking forces were forcefully broken apart by him. Sacred Dragon Physique. Zhenwu Boxing Dao. At that moment, Yang Wu released the power of his Sacred Dragon Physique. The power of his Boxing Dao condensed on his arms as he charged forward with an extremely powerful stance. The power of his physical body combined with the power of his Boxing Dao. This was Yang Wu's limit. He could completely challenge the power of an ordinary mid-level sage. It was extremely domineering. This was his true strength. Yang Wu released an imposing aura. It was as if a banished immortal had descended. It was also as if a true dragon had appeared. With one punch, he shattered those attacking forces. The space completely collapsed. Yang Wu had entered the top-level dragon transformation realm from the limit of the high-level dragon transformation realm. He had polished every small realm to the limit. He also had the war blood talent that could increase his combat strength. Although the war blood talent had already been integrated into every part of his body, he could enter his strongest combat state at any time. In addition, there was the dragon-killing aura on his body. He had thought that it would only produce a frightening killing aura. Now that he had fully activated it, he realized that this dragon-killing aura was not only frightening but could also increase his combat strength. With these powers stacked together, Yang Wu was like a barbaric dragon in human form. He was extremely powerful. Boom. Boom. Yang Wu ignored all the attacks. With the power of a punch, he broke all the attacks in front of him. Moreover, he still had the strength to punch at the people in front of him. Those people did not even have the time to scream before they were blown up by the punch. Yang Wu's eyes were like lightning. The heavenly thunder bone in his body emitted bursts of thunder and lightning power, increasing his physical strength once again. He continuously punched, each punch stronger than the last. It was as if he wanted to completely destroy the sky. Fight! 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 Yang Wu kept roaring. He wanted to roar out the infinite fighting spirit in his heart. One after another, huge fists completely broke through the encirclement. The dragon-killing aura in this part of the world actually gathered towards him, replenishing his strength and strengthening his dragon-killing aura, causing his strength to increase instead of decreasing. He was so powerful that he was like a god of war that had descended. The true martial fist was unleashed to the extreme. The power of the 3 imperial edicts was directly blown up by the power of his punch. Those who besieged Yang Wu were completely panicked. They knew that Yang Wu was fierce, but they did not know that he was fierce to this extent. They were all heaven's prides. If they joined forces, they could kill a saint. Moreover, they had torn apart many imperial edicts. How could they not kill him? Instead, dozens of them were killed by him. He was too powerful. One of the heaven's prides from the blood-killing sect no longer held back. He roared, "Everyone, use your best skills. Otherwise, we will all die here." In the next moment, 2 blood puppets appeared beside him. These were the blood puppets that he had accidentally obtained. He did not think that these 2 blood puppets could completely kill Yang Wu. However, if they exploded, they might be able to seriously injure Yang Wu. Okay, use your best skills. We must kill this little bastard. A Heaven's Prides from the ghost cult shouted and threw something in Yang Wu's direction. Buzz. Suddenly, a swarm of ghost bees appeared in this world, and pounced on Yang Wu to bite him. What that guy had just thrown out was a ghost beehive. Ghost bees were extremely poisonous. Moreover, they were super fast and there were so many of them that even a saint might be eaten by them if he was not careful. The other Heaven's Prides also used their last trump cards. They had already gone all out. If they held back, they would be courting death. Damaged saint weapons flew out, blood shields flew out, and arrows were shot out. There were all kinds of attacks. The dangerous power was quite astonishing. Could Yang Wu withstand them? This wave of attacks was much more powerful than the previous ones. Moreover, it was more tricky. At this time, Yang Wu had entered another state. The surging dragon chi gathered on his sacred dragon body. He only felt that his body was full of power, and there was a feeling that he would not feel good if he didn't vent it out. He didn't care about the attacks, and raised his fist and punched out. Martial God's Fist, Mysterious Chaos. This move was most suitable for group battles. Dragon-shaped battle chi condensed and wreaked havoc in all directions. The 2 blood puppets were blown up by Yang Wu before they could self-destruct. The ghost bees that surrounded him died even faster. The dragon chi here was so strong that it corroded their bodies. They did not even have the chance to escape and died immediately. The other attacks were all smashed into pieces by the tyrannical power. Tao of Death. Ice Wing Blade. Yang Wu used all his skills. The Tao of Death took the lives of a few severely injured Heaven's Prides. Moreover, it also affected the attacks of others. The Ice Wing Blade quietly harvested the heads of others. These Heaven's Prides of the Blood Ghost didn't even have time to scream before their heads were separated from their bodies. Yang Wu was too strong. He had beaten them to a pulp. Those who were not killed were scared out of their wit. He's a demon. He's too strong. We're not his match. That damn little bastard is so strong. How can we fight him? We're just courting death. I don't want to die. I want the Dragon Phoenix fruit too. I quit. It's better to fight for something else than to die here. I'll come back and take his life when I break through and become a saint. Just like that, this wave of blood ghost people completely dispersed. They were fugitives. However, when faced with the danger of being slaughtered, they still made their own choice. They were not willing to die just like that. They also had a higher goal. Yang Wu single-handedly killed nearly 100 of Blood Fiend's men. More than half of the Blood Fiend's men had fled. After Yang Wu chased and killed more than 10 people, he turned his attention to the people from Battle League and Ming Gang. Yang Wu was like the descendant of the true dragon. He roared with majestic dragon chi and killed those people. Yang Wu was too powerful. Wherever he went, there would be people dying. At the same time, the 2 groups of flood dragons were attracted by Yang Wu's true dragon aura. They followed him and killed those people from the Battle League and Ming Gang. Now, the Battle League and Ming Gang were under a lot of pressure. It was already difficult to deal with the hundreds of ferocious beasts under the little man. There were also monsters like Lu Ji, Yangba, Suju, and Shuyujun. They were at a disadvantage. Originally, they just wanted to stall for time and create an opportunity for the Blood Ghost people to kill Yang Wu. Who knew that so many people could not deal with Yang Wu? It was too disappointing. They did not want to be entangled and quickly dispersed. Everything would be decided after their leader obtained the Dragon Phoenix fruit. At the same time, Wudong's 7 sections sword formation destroyed the Dragon Tiger Talisman array of the Dragon Tiger sect and killed many Dragon Tiger prodigies. The grudge between Wudong and the Dragon Tiger sect was not new. It was not a matter of a day or two. If Zhang Daolong and Su Bulei had held the line, they might not have lost so quickly. Unfortunately, they did not have the strength of Zhang Daolong and Su Buli. Resisting the 7 heroes of Wudong was a suicide mission. The battle here soon came to an end. The most intense battle was at the Dragon Phoenix Tree. Yang Wu did not have time to chase after those people. He shouted to those who helped him, "Let's get the Dragon Phoenix fruit together. Don't leave a single one for them." Chapter 1081. Yang Wu was truly enraged. Not only did those people want to kill him, but they also wanted to stop his opportunity. This was absolutely intolerable. Now that the people around Yang Wu were extremely united, which was far from what the other forces could compare to. If they really charged over together, who could stop them? The Dragon Hall, Phoenix Palace, and Thunder Sect were the strongest forces among the human race. Among the spirit demons, there were the Fiery Phoenix Tribe, Serene Bird Tribe, and Flood Dragon Tribe. Among the foreign races, there were the Ghost Tribe, Orc Tribe, and Iron Wing Tribe. Among the demon race, there were the Sky Tyrant Demon, Death God Tribe, Nine-Eyed Demon, and 8-Armed Demon Ape. These were all extremely powerful forces that could clash with Yang Wu's people. The Battle League, Ming Gang, and Blood Ghost were already beaten into submission. Who else could go against them? There were only 49 Dragon Phoenix fruits in front of them, and the number of Sky Prides here had reached 30 to 40,000. In such a situation where there were too many monks and too little rice, everyone would desperately try to snatch it. On the human side, the people from the Dragon Hall had arrived long ago. They did not participate in the other battles, but had their eyes on the Dragon Phoenix fruit. Among them, the first Hall Lord was the first to attack the Dragon Phoenix fruits. Currently, the people from the Phoenix Palace and Thunder Sect had not appeared. They might be on their way here, or they might have discovered something else. Now, other than the first Hall Lord, the most powerful contenders were Kuan Mingzi, Shui Wuming, Jin Juezi, DMO, Nine-Eyed Demon. These Sky Prides were all clashing with the Dragon Phoenix fruit. They were already the strongest Sky Prides in this world, but they were unable to defeat the Dragon Phoenix Battle Chi and obtain the Dragon Phoenix fruits. Needless to say, the Battle Chi released by the Dragon Phoenix fruit was simply too powerful. Even ordinary sages would be annihilated by it. Some of the weaker Sky Prides were killed before they could even touch the Dragon Phoenix fruit. There were Sky Prides all around the huge Dragon Phoenix tree. Everyone was looking forward to seeing who would be the first to obtain the Dragon Phoenix fruit. All of a sudden, an extremely fast figure darted out from one direction. It was a ray of golden light, and there were waves of Buddha Chi rippling all over his body. Wherever he went, the Sky Prides in that direction were pushed away by his power. They couldn't stop him at all. A golden dragon claw grabbed towards one of the Dragon Phoenix fruit. Roar! Yo! The cries of dragons and phoenixes rang out. The dragon-killing aura and the power of the true fire of the phoenix formed the shape of a dragon and a phoenix and raged towards the power of the dragon claw. The dragon claw was struck by the 2 battle chis, but it was not destroyed in the first moment. Instead, it continued to grab the crystal fruit. The dragon claw was too powerful. Fortunately, the Dragon Phoenix Battle Chi was stronger. They were unwilling to let the Dragon Phoenix fruit be taken away, so their strength increased sharply and destroyed the golden claw. Interesting. The golden Buddha laughed and suddenly released a terrifying force. It was as if he was the only one left in this world. The majestic golden light blinded the eyes of the surrounding Sky Prides. Then, a sky full of golden claws grabbed towards the Dragon Phoenix Battle Chi. Heaven imprisoning divine claw. The claw force was so powerful that it could imprison the heavens and the earth. Its power was endless, and it constantly intertwined with the power of the Dragon and Phoenix Battle Chi. Bursts of shocking explosions rang out incessantly. After an unknown period of time, the golden claw disappeared, and the shape of the dragon and phoenix was also torn apart. A sparkling and translucent fruit of light quietly fell into a golden palm. Jin Qiu picked the first Dragon Phoenix fruit. Who was Jin Qiu? Not many people knew about him, but today, his name would be completely known throughout the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. After seeing Jin Xiu obtain the first Dragon Phoenix fruit, the other races were very unwilling. If he could obtain the first one, he would have the ability to obtain the second one. If he did not hurry up, there would be no share of the Dragon Phoenix fruits here. Just as the second fruit was about to be snatched by the Grim Reaper, a halberd slashed down furiously. The domineering power was extremely terrifying, and it was not inferior to the technique that Jin Xiu had just used. It directly twisted the Grim Reaper's arm. The next moment, the person who came let out an incomparably arrogant voice. Scum of the Grim Reaper clan, don't think about getting a single Dragon Phoenix fruit today. All of you will die. The creature that rushed over looked very similar to the skinny monkey Sun Do, but they were also very different. His entire body was covered with golden hair, and his body was filled with demonic energy. It was as if a demon saint had descended. He was Sun Qian of the Saint Do clan. He and the skinny monkey entered the Dragon Phoenix Abyss separately. He took the quota of the foreign races while the skinny monkey took the quota of the human race. They did not delay each other. Originally, Sun Qian was an old monster from many years ago. However, he had reconstructed his physical body, and his strength was almost recultivated. His bone age was not very old, which was why he could enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. You damned monkey, you should be cut into pieces. The Grim Reaper clan's prodigy shouted angrily, and fought fiercely with Sun Qian. On the other side, a creature from the Jade Emperor clan successfully obtained the second fruit. This creature was not DMO, but Dmo's elder brother. His strength was even more tyrannical than Dmo's, and his entire body was surrounded by jade energy. The strength of his physical body was incomparably strong, and he used the strength of his physical body to resist the Dragon Phoenix battle chi, and forcefully obtained the Dragon Phoenix fruit. A heavenly tyrant demon and the nine-eyed demon from the Devil clan each obtained a fruit. As for the Flood Dragon clan and the Fiery Phoenix clan, who were close relatives of the Dragon clan and the Phoenix clan, they each obtained a fruit. The Flood Dragon clan's Ao Yu was the strongest, much stronger than Ao Changzhan and Ao Jian. Moreover, he held a complete dragon bone in his hand, and with the power of the dragon bone, he attracted the dragon-shaped battle chi to get close to him. Only the Phoenix battle chi attacked him, and he did not spend much effort to obtain a Dragon Phoenix fruit. Although the Fiery Phoenix clan's Huahongyan's battle strength was not as good as Yang Wu's, she had the Phoenix feather, and was close to the Phoenix battle chi. It was reasonable for her to obtain a Dragon Phoenix fruit. Subsequently, many prodigies successively obtained Dragon Phoenix fruits, including the first Palace Lord, Kuan Mingzi, Jin Juezi, and the other human prodigies. In addition, among the people who came later, there was a woman who obtained a Dragon Phoenix fruit with an incomparably stunning manner. When the crowd saw the woman's face, they could not help but exclaim, "It's the 7th Princess Xianyuan." Xianyuan Huowu was a stunning young lady. She was noble and elegant at times, and sometimes witty and eccentric at others. No one could grasp her character, but her strength was too strong. She was the current #1 woman on the Heavenly Phoenix list. The Phoenix Palace was a force established by the 3rd Princess Xianyuan. Everyone thought that the 3rd Princess Xuanyuan's strength was unfathomable. Who would have thought that the 7th Princess Xianyuan would steal her limelight? The goddess is mighty. Someone in the distance could not help but cheer. If Yang Wu had the time to look at him, he would have discovered that it was the Shui Miao Miao. He had come with Xianyuan Huowu. Not long after, the people from the Leitang sect also arrived. The Leitang sect was located relatively far away, so it was not too late for them to arrive at this time. In addition, the people from the Evil Buddha Temple and the King of Hell's Palace also appeared. The battle here became even more intense. When these forces joined in, Yang Wu turned into a dragon and rushed over. It was as if he had entered a no-man's land. Those who stood in front of him were all sent flying by his powerful momentum. There were more than a dozen creatures who wanted to secretly trip him up, but they were all killed by his ice wing blade. Yang Wu was originally far away from the dragon phoenix tree. With his full speed, he also approached the dragon phoenix tree and locked his gaze on the nearest dragon phoenix fruit. There were a few prodigies fighting fiercely there. They were Xing Yu and a dragon horse spirit demon from the Xing clan, Zhuo Shihan from the Five Mountains sect, and Qin Chufeng from the Qin clan. Among them, Xing Yu, the dragon horse spirit demon, and Zhuo Shihan she were the strongest. Qin Chufeng and a few other prodigies were second. They were all waiting for the best opportunity. They were waiting for Xing Yu and the dragon horse to wear down the dragon phoenix battle aura so that they could seize the opportunity to seize it. When Yang Wu saw these people, he did not hesitate to charge over. His body was suffused with a dense dragon aura. No one dared to touch him. Even Qin Chufeng and a few other prodigies were sent flying. Yang Wu. When Qin Chufeng saw Yang Wu, he could not help but shout, "Let's kill him together." The female prodigy of the Five Mountains sect, Li Yue, said fiercely. Li Yue liked Zhuo Shihan and would not hesitate to die for her. Previously, Zhuo Shihan had failed to invite Yang Wu, so she hated Yang Wu and Shu Yujun to the core. When Yang Wu appeared in front of her, she did not hesitate to attack. Double Moon Slash. Li Yue's two swords slashed furiously at Yang Wu's back. Two crescent moon-like forces landed on Yang Wu's back in the blink of an eye. They were quite sharp and powerful. Yang Wu did not have time to pay attention to these two swords. It was as if he had eyes at the back of his head. He quickly dodged Li Yue's attack and reached out to grab the dragon phoenix fruit. The power of Yang Wu's palm contained a dense dragon aura. It was as if it could resist the dragon-shaped battle aura. Moreover, he was not afraid of being burned by the true phoenix fire. He was determined to get the dragon phoenix fruit. "Yang Wu, you're courting death." When Xing Yu saw Yang Wu intervening, he roared and a wisp of black flames burned furiously at Yang Wu. The dragon horse also let out a long neigh, and a hoof print furiously kicked towards Yang Wu. On the other hand, Zhuo Shihan pointed out a cold finger light and shot it directly at Yang Wu's heart. These three were top-notch monsters. When they unleashed their trump cards, they could challenge an ordinary level 2 Starmark realm creature. It would be easy for them to kill a saint if they worked together. They did not want Yang Wu to take the dragon phoenix fruit. When these attacks landed in front of Yang Wu shook his top-notch saint garment. Saint power rippled out and blocked all their attacks. There were many top-notch monsters here, but only a small portion of them could wear saint armor and saint garments. There were even fewer creatures like Yang Wu who wore a top-notch saint garment. The attacks of these three people completely missed. Yang Wu continued to grab the dragon phoenix fruit with lightning speed. The dragon-shaped battle aura and Yang Wu's dragon aura came from the same source. As Yang Wu's strength increased, the dragon-shaped battle aura did little damage to him. The true phoenix fire was like the time when he snatched the phoenix feather fan. The fire was extremely fierce. However, it was blocked by Lan Yaoji. Yang Wu took the opportunity to pluck the dragon phoenix fruit. The dragon phoenix fruit was in his hands. Chapter 1082. No one needed to explain the value of the dragon phoenix fruit. None of the prodigies present dared to consume the dragon phoenix fruit immediately after obtaining it. Its medicinal properties were extremely potent. Even if one had reached the saint level, consuming it directly would be extremely dangerous. Such a fruit was best used as medicine to maximize its value. It was not impossible to consume it alone, as long as one could withstand the impact of the dragon and phoenix powers. Only dragons, phoenixes, and other races with the same origin as the dragon phoenix fruit could consume it directly. After Yang Wu obtained the dragon phoenix fruit, he would not consume it directly. He was a top-tier saint alchemist and had the ability to maximize its effect. When he obtained the dragon phoenix fruit, he was attacked by multiple prodigies at the same time. "Yang Wu, go to hell." Xingyu roared and formed a seal with his hands. A black flame mark flashed between his eyebrows, and a terrifying power of Xinghu erupted. A saint weapon blasted toward Yang Wu. Black Purgatory. This was Xingyu's innate ability. When unleashed, it was like creating a terrifying purgatory. The black fire seed had also reached the saint level. Anyone who came into contact with it would find it difficult to escape. The dragon horse creature also erupted with power. The horse galloped through the air. The dragon horse's speed was unparalleled. It raised its hooves and turned into an extremely fast afterimage. When it reappeared, the power of its hooves was already stomping toward Yang Wu's back. If I let you leave here alive, where would I put my face? Zhuo Shihan condensed an ice sword with her fingers, and an extremely sharp and cold power slashed toward Yang Wu. Icy Finger Sword. This was also Zhuo Shihan's innate ability. It came from her fingers. The ice sword could freeze thousands of miles, and its power was extremely terrifying. The three top-tier prodigies attacked at the same time. It was no weaker than the 200 or 300 Blood Wraith prodigies attack on Yang Wu at the same time. In fact, it was even more threatening. When Yang Wu put away the Dragon Phoenix fruit, the power of the 3 waves of attacks had already blasted toward him. He shook his top-tier saint cloth and protected himself tightly, blocking all the attacks. The top-grade saint garment wasn't omnipotent. It could block a fatal attack for him, but there was still a portion of the impact that pushed him back. He's wearing a saint robe, so we need to use a saint weapon to kill him. Zhuo Shihan cried out and finally took out her other saint weapon. This saint weapon was a high-grade saint sword, which could greatly increase the power of her attacks. Sword after sword of extreme cold slashed towards Yang Wu in a frenzy. A pair of saint-level iron hooves appeared in front of the dragon horse. These were the natal saint hooves left behind by the saint of his race after his death. They were also the great killing weapon that he had prepared. When the saint hooves landed, they could crush heaven and earth. A ring of fire appeared in the prison of execution. This ring of fire was not inferior to Yang Wu's top-grade saint garment. Surrounded by black flames, it was like a black sun smashing towards Yang Wu. At this point, if Yang Wu did not escape, he could only fight to the end. The word retreat did not exist in Yang Wu's dictionary. The death scythe appeared in his hand, and at the same time, the Tao of Death appeared. With a slash of the scythe, the power of death turned into a devil and swept towards them. The Tao of Death was extremely compatible with the death scythe. Although the grade of the scythe was unknown, it was definitely not weaker than any saint weapon. Boom, 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 boom. The overbearing power landed on the Dragon Phoenix tree, but was silently blocked by the Dragon Phoenix tree's defensive power. If it were any other tree, it would have been reduced to dust. If Yang Wu was still in the advanced dragon transformation realm, he might not be able to withstand the combined attack of the 3 of them. Now that he was in the same realm as them and had the same level of combat weapon, there was nothing to be afraid of. His Tao of Death was not something that anyone could withstand. After the 3 Sky Prides felt the threat of the Tao of Death, they all screamed and retreated. Bastard, you must be from the King of Hell's palace. Xingyu cursed angrily. He did not dare to tangle with Yang Wu anymore and turned to kill the other Dragon Phoenix fruit. The dragon horse also realized that Yang Wu was not to be trifled with. If they continued to fight, the Dragon Phoenix fruits would be gone. It quickly turned to another direction to fight for the Dragon Phoenix fruit. Zhuo Shihan was very unwilling. She ordered Li Yuyue, "You guys snatch his Dragon Phoenix fruits." Immediately after, they also charged towards the other Dragon Phoenix fruit. The Dragon Phoenix tree took up a large area. Each Dragon Phoenix fruit grew in a different location. It was enough for these Sky Prides to fight for them. Li Yue was 100% devoted to Zhuo Shihan. After hearing Zhuo Shihan's words, before she could give orders to the people around her, someone coldly responded, "Whoever dares to touch Yang Wu, I will kill his entire family." Shu Yujun had already rushed over. She would definitely not allow Yang Wu to be hurt in any way. Even if Yang Wu's combat power was above hers, she still hoped to protect Yang Wu. "Who dares to touch my young master?" the little man also said in an extremely domineering manner. Yang Wu did not have time to pay attention to them. He said to his own people, "Don't worry about these things. Go and snatch the dragon phoenix fruit." The dragon phoenix fruits were very important. They had to snatch as many as they could. Many sky prides had already succeeded. If they were any slower, they might all be snatched up. Yang Wu's gaze turned to another dragon phoenix fruit nearby. He did not care about the creatures fighting over there and charged over forcefully. The creatures here were all from different races. There was one from the violent gold race, one from the wolfman race, and one from the winged race. These foreign races were all very powerful. Their explosive attacks were very difficult to guard against. The violent gold race was the most powerful. He was like a golden creature, and his berserk energy was quite terrifying. Every move he made carried with it the power to destroy the heavens and the earth. He sent other creatures flying as he forcefully collected the dragon phoenix pearls. Just as he was about to grab the dragon phoenix fruits, Yang Wu's death scythe descended from the sky and chopped off one of his golden arms. The path of death swept towards the dozen or so creatures here, affecting their vitality. None of these creatures were cowards. They would not run away without a fight. They all charged towards this human who had forcefully interfered. Yang Wu's black tortoise battle armor dissipated the power of these attacks. He used his fastest speed to snatch the dragon phoenix fruit. Die, human! How could the violent gold race creature endure this? One of his arms had been chopped off by the death scythe, but it quickly grew back. His regenerative ability was very shocking. He used his other arm to punch out. The blinding light made it difficult for people to open their eyes. His target was the back of Yang Wu's head. Yang Wu still did not care about this punch. He activated the Dragon Phoenix Battle Chi of the Dragon Phoenix fruit. He immediately retreated. The violent gold race creature's golden fist blasted towards the Dragon Phoenix Battle Chi. Yang Wu appeared on the other side. His death scythe slashed towards the violent gold race creature's waist. The tragic violent gold race creature was engulfed by the Dragon Phoenix Battle Chi and could not escape for a while. Yang Wu then slashed at his waist. His sturdy body was cut in half. He lost more than half of his combat ability. However, he still did not die. His ability to survive was too strong. The great sword in Yang Wu's hand spun rapidly as he swung it at the other living beings. At this time, he used the Path of Death to activate the Death Scythe. Only then could he unleash the true power of the Death Scythe. The power of death filled the surroundings, scaring the creatures into retreating. The terrifying thing about the Path of Death was that it could strip away one's life force. Every young prodigy's life force was very vigorous. Once they touched this thing, not only would their life force be reduced, but their foundation would also be damaged. It would be extremely difficult to recover. This was also why so many humans hated the people from Yama's palace. They cultivated the Path of Death, which was the most evil. On the side of the demons, the Death God race had something to do with the Path of Death. Yang Wu used the moment these creatures retreated as quickly as possible to pick the Dragon Phoenix fruit. The Dragon Phoenix Battle Chi appeared again. Yang Wu activated the murderous dragon aura and blue enchantress. Just like before, he successfully picked the second Dragon Phoenix fruit. The creatures were extremely jealous. They all used their saint-level power to attack Yang Wu. Boundless power enveloped Yang Wu. Yang Wu used his top-level saint cloth to cover his body. He blocked all of his vital points. He slashed out with his death scythe, forcefully creating a crack. Two creatures did not even have the chance to scream before they died. The other creatures realized how strong Yang Wu was. They could only turn to the other Dragon Phoenix fruit. Yang Wu did not plan to stop. He headed in the direction of another Dragon Phoenix fruit. At this moment, He saw a demon obtain a dragon phoenix fruit. It was a powerful creature from the 8-armed demonic ape race. The creatures that fought with him were torn into pieces. "It's you." Yang Wu locked onto the 8-armed demonic ape without hesitation. He gathered his power and slashed at the other party. A sickle that looked like the god of death descended from the sky. Its power was boundless. It was enough to kill a saint. The 8-armed demonic ape was able to obtain the dragon phoenix fruit by force. Its combat power was naturally extraordinary. Even if it was injured when it obtained the fruit, it was not to be trifled with. It roared, "A human monkey dares to come and court death." The 8-armed battle weapon. Each of the 8-armed demonic ape's 8 arms held a battle weapon. There was a sword, a saber, and a halberd. When it was waved at the same time, it formed a demonic weapon aura. The dense demonic aura and sharp weapon light made its combat power very strong. Yang Wu's powerful saber light was blocked by the other party. However, the 8-armed demonic ape was also forced to retreat. Its body was injured by the saber chi. The death aura entered its body and deprived it of a part of its vitality. The 8-armed demonic ape's expression changed drastically. It turned around and fled without hesitation. It did not plan to fight with the young man in front of it. It was injured and was not in its peak state. If it continued to fight, it would be at a disadvantage. "Babies, take him down." The little man's voice rang out. Then, many ferocious beasts surrounded the 8-armed demonic ape at the same time. Waves of ferocious beasts covered the 8-armed demonic ape. It did not even have a chance to escape. "Little man, he has the dragon phoenix fruit. Don't damage it," Yang Wu reminded. "Young master, don't worry. The babies know their limits," the little man replied. Yang Wu was a little speechless. These ferocious beasts were so powerful, but the little man actually called them babies. Did these ferocious beasts really agree? Chapter 1083. The battle for the dragon phoenix fruit had reached its climax. More than half of the forces had arrived. Only a small number of people were absent. Dragon Palace Hall, Phoenix Palace, Ming Gang, Thunder Sect, War Clan. These human forces' heaven's prides had all arrived. Dragon Palace Hall's young Hall King had also appeared. He had been defeated by Yang Wu in the broken space. He didn't want to lose again. He wanted to regain his face. He vowed to fight with Yang Wu again. Apart from the young Hall King and young Hall King, there were also a few extremely powerful heaven's prides. They were all qualified to become dragon kings. These people were involved in the battle between dragons and phoenixes. It was a fierce battle between dragons and tigers. Phoenix Palace's strength wasn't inferior to Dragon Palace. Among them, Xianyuan Third Princess Combat's strength wasn't inferior to Great Hall King. However, she didn't care much about her reputation. Instead, she helped Xianyuan Hou. There was also a man from Xianyuan clan. He was ranked in the top 10 of Heavenly Dragon ranking. His combat strength was also very abnormal. He was also a strong contender for the Dragon Phoenix fruit. Apart from that, Chao Jifei, who had joined Phoenix Palace, was also extraordinary. Not only was this woman skilled in alchemy, but her combat strength was also extraordinary. She was the kind of existence that was qualified to be ranked in the top 10 of Heavenly Phoenix ranking. Chao Jifei also wanted the Dragon Phoenix fruit. She could refine better pills. However, she didn't personally participate in the battle. There were protectors who were willing to help her snatch it. On the Ming Gang side, apart from Kuan Mingzi, there were a few other people with extraordinary strength. However, it was still a little insufficient to obtain the Dragon Phoenix fruit. Thunder Sect's combat strength was stronger than Ming Gang. However, they had fewer people. They were basically all from Purple Firmament Palace. The previous generation's saint and saintess of Thunder Sect were extremely abnormal. Moreover, the power of thunder was the most violent. Who would dare to compete with them? Purple Yu was also an extraordinary woman. She rode a purple qilin and swept through all 4 directions. She was ranked 5th on Heavenly Phoenix ranking. She and Xianyuanhu were known as the most beautiful fairies. The former was called Fairy Yu and the latter was called Fairy Foam. This meant that the two of them were the two most beautiful people in this year's Dragon Phoenix list. Although Chao Jifei was not inferior to them, she was much older than them and had a domineering nickname, Empress Chao. After Ziyu arrived, he did not immediately snatch the dragon and phoenix fruit, but instead searched for Yang Wu's figure. Originally, they had entered the dragon and phoenix abyss together, but who knew that they would be separated after entering? When she saw Yang Wu snatch the dragon phoenix fruit as if there was no one around, she was relieved. "Husband, your strength is improving really quickly," Ziyu said with a faint smile. In the next moment, she turned into a bolt of purple lightning and charged in a certain direction. She also wanted to obtain the dragon phoenix fruit. Other than these heaven's favorites, there were a few others who were extremely dazzling. For example, Jiang Ping, who had always been on the heavenly dragon ranking and had not come down. This guy was a loner who appeared and disappeared unpredictably. He had defeated many heaven's favorites and ascended to the top of the heavenly dragon ranking. Many people wanted to find him and pull him down from the altar, but unfortunately, no one had done so until now. Today, he also appeared in front of the dragon and phoenix tree. In addition, the skinny monkey Sun Do also appeared. Along with him were a dozen top heaven's favorites from various factions. They were all members of the Marquis gang that he had once recruited. The Marquis gang did not only have this few people, but some of them had already scattered. After obtaining freedom, they no longer followed the skinny monkey. The skinny monkey did not care. He was not someone who was good at winning people's hearts. After the skinny monkey arrived, he displayed an incomparably shocking battle strength. Moreover, he looked similar to Sun Qian. Everyone guessed that they were a pair of brothers. Many people knew that they could not snatch the dragon and phoenix fruits, so they went to snatch the dragon and phoenix items here. There were only a few connate items, and they had long fallen into the hands of different creatures. The other dragon and phoenix items were not low level either. It would be a great harvest if they could obtain them. In addition, there was a masked woman in black from the King of Hell's palace who was also extremely terrifying. Wherever she went, a terrifying Tao of death would sweep out in all directions. It was even more domineering than the one released by Yang Wu. Any creature that approached her would die. The battle entered its climax. Many heaven's favorites used all kinds of methods, hoping to gain something. Yang Wu snatched 2 dragon and phoenix fruits in a row. The third dragon and phoenix fruit was fought for by the little man. When it came to the 4th dragon and phoenix fruit, he cast his gaze in the direction of Shuyujun. She also wanted to fight for a dragon and phoenix fruit, but the opponent she encountered was too strong. She could not succeed for a while and even encountered danger. Yang Wu did not hesitate to rush in her direction. In her direction, there were also many powerful creatures gathered. Among them, a 7-tailed fox king used its absolute strength to pluck the dragon and phoenix fruit. The 7-tailed fox king transformed into a woman. She was naturally incomparably charming. She had a pair of soul-stirring eyes, a towering chest, a slender waist, and sexy long legs. She wore a white feather robe. Her charm was not something those fox girls could compare to. The male creatures around her were all mesmerized and disoriented. They obeyed her orders and attacked others. Shuyujun was dealt with by the creature controlled by the 7-tailed fox king. It was an ice-winged person. The ice-winged person's combat strength was very strong. He held an ice spear in his hand, and waves of icy power descended with a casual attack, forcing Shuyujun to retreat. Shuyujun's water power was completely restrained by the opponent, and her speed was not as good as the opponent's. Her body was already wounded by the opponent. Just as Shuyujun was about to be stabbed by the opponent again, Yang Wu turned into a meteor and rushed over, slashing down with his death scythe. The ice-winged person instinctively reacted and raised his spear to block, But in the end, his spear was cut in half by Yang Wu's blade. The blade light that was filled with the Tao of Death instantly cut him in half, and fresh blood splattered everywhere. Yang Wu's angry blade was simply tyrannical to the extreme. The Fox King, who had just obtained the dragon and phoenix fruit, glanced at Yang Wu and let out a silver bell sound, so handsome. The sound was like a trickling hot spring flowing into the heart. No matter which man it was, their heart would itch. Yang Wu ignored the Fox King and asked Shu Yujun with concern, "Is Yujun all right?" "I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me. Continue to fight for the dragon and phoenix fruit." Shu Yujun replied with a smile. "No matter how important the dragon and phoenix fruit is, it's not as important as you. Go and fight for other things. I'll fight for a dragon and phoenix fruit for you," Yang Wu said. "I don't want to hide behind you for the rest of my life. Trust me, I definitely won't drag you down," Shu Yujun said with a resolute expression. Yang Wu couldn't persuade Shu Yujun, so he could only go with her to fight for the dragon and phoenix fruit and fight for one for her. The people here were all top-notch geniuses, and their battle prowess was incomparably powerful. Shu Yujun had stepped into the top ranks, but her foundation was still a little weak. If he really wanted her to fight with those geniuses, he wouldn't feel at ease. There were already very few dragon and phoenix fruits, and the competition for each one was incomparably fierce. Yang Wu and Shu Yujun barged into a chaotic battle. Yang Wu released the Tao of Death, and originally thought that he would be able to scare away most of the living beings. He didn't expect to meet a genius who also possessed the Tao of Death. "You must be Yang Wu. The dragon and phoenix fruits here belong to me. You can go elsewhere," the genius who was releasing a pure death aura said to Yang Wu faintly. This was a genius from the King of Hell's palace. Although he wasn't the son of the King of Hell, his strength was quite impressive. He held a black halberd in his hand, and his entire body emitted a dense death aura that wasn't much weaker than the one released by Yang Wu. Yang Wu rarely absorbed death aura. In the past, he had absorbed the death aura under passive circumstances. However, this genius in front of him was constantly absorbing it. Moreover, there was an obvious difference between the Tao of Death. It was even more evil and frightening. Yang Wu looked at the other party and realized that he looked very old. He must have consumed his own life force while cultivating the Tao of Death. This Tao of Death was wrong. "You're from the King of Hell's palace?" Yang Wu asked. "It's good that you know. We're on the same side." The genius from the King of Hell's palace nodded. "Who's on the same side as you?" Yang Wu replied coldly. The divine court Tao flower swayed, and the Tao of Death produced a powerful suction force that sucked in the death aura from the King of Hell's palace's genius. The genius from the King of Hell's palace frowned. He could feel his own death aura dissipating. He shouted in shock, "You're crazy!" What awaited him was Yang Wu's powerful sickle slash. The genius from the King of Hell's palace wasn't weak. He held his halberd and fought fiercely with Yang Wu. Hell of Death. After the genius from the King of Hell's palace entered a state of slaughter, a terrifying scene of hell appeared in the surroundings. The living beings in the vicinity were all frightened and retreated as far as they could. No one wanted to be touched by such evil energy. Yang Wu wasn't afraid at all. Instead, he felt that this hell of death was just a facade. It didn't affect him at all. Yang Wu fought with his opponent. He could feel the profoundness of his opponent's aura and found that there were some good points. If his Tao of Death evolved into this hellish scene, his ability to steal vitality would be greatly enhanced. In addition, he could absorb his opponent's death aura without being affected at all. His opponent didn't seem to have condensed the true Tao of Death. Or rather, his Tao of Death was stronger and purer than his opponent's. He could suppress his opponent. "Your Tao of Death has reached such a high level. Why do you still want to devour my death aura? Damn it!" The genius from the King of Hell's palace said in horror. A black mark appeared in his hand. He spat a mouthful of blood on the mark, and a terrifying aura rose from it. Blood Sacrifice Hell Demon. A huge Hell Demon appeared, and a dreadful palm of death furiously slapped toward Yang Wu. Its power was enough to obliterate any primary Saint Realm creature. Yang Wu slashed at the Hell Demon with his sickle. The Hell Demon was very strong. It actually blocked his attack. He was even forced back a few steps. He frowned and said, "These guys have so many tricks up their sleeves." Chapter 1084. Legend had it that Hell Demon was one of the wardens that suppressed the wandering souls of the underworld. It carried a terrifying evil aura, and anyone who came into contact with it would lose their life force. Once hit by its power, even if they didn't die immediately, they would be branded with the mark of hell, and their lifespan would be shortened. There weren't many prodigies from King of Hell's palace who came to participate in the Battle of the Dragons and Phoenixes, but every one of them was at the top. No one dared to associate with them, and even Blood Demon's people stayed far away from them. King of Hell's palace was the public enemy of all humans in the transcendent realm. 10,000 years ago, there was a powerful force that wanted to completely eradicate King of Hell's palace. At that time, that force had joined forces with Shaolin, Wudong, and many other righteous sects to eliminate a great threat to the human race. Who knew that before that force could attack King of Hell's palace, they would be slaughtered by King of Hell's palace, and every one of them would die. From then on, no other force dared to say that they wanted to eradicate King of Hell's palace. They were too powerful. The path of death was one of the strongest martial arts in the transcendent realm. Yang Wu had unexpectedly cultivated the path of death. Other than the Death War King and the Rose of Death in the mortal world, this was the first time he had met a prodigy who was proficient in the path of death. Yang Wu's strength completely suppressed his opponent, but his opponent's methods were giving him a headache. After clashing with Hell Demon, he felt that Hell Demon's killing intent was too strong. If he hadn't broken through to the peak of the dragon transformation realm, he might not have been able to resist. "Yang Wu, you are a member of King of Hell's palace. As long as you submit to me, I will spare your life." Hell's palace's prodigy said with a savage expression. "Who is a member of King of Hell's palace like you?" "This young master has nothing to do with King of Hell's palace," Yang Wu emphasized, then said, "Do you really think that a mere secret technique can make me surrender? Dream on." Yang Wu unleashed the path of death completely, and the death scythe seemed to awaken. He slashed out several more times, and each slash contained the full power of his strength, blocking the Hell Demon's attack. Hell's palace's prodigy was completely flustered. His Hell Demon seal would not be able to last for long. Once he failed to take down Yang Wu, the one to die would most likely be him. Thus, he raised his halberd and joined the battle. Halberd after halberd attack crazily shot towards Yang Wu. Shu Yujun wanted to help Yang Wu, but she couldn't stand the death chi, so she could only be anxious. The other Sky Prides were also extremely depressed. The death aura exploded near the Dragon Phoenix fruit. They didn't know if it would spoil the Dragon Phoenix fruit. Yang Wu didn't want to waste any more time. Just as Hell's Palace's prodigy and Hell Demon were about to charge over, the Ice Wing Blade flew out and slashed towards the prodigy. The speed of the Ice Wing Blade was much faster than before. It sliced through the deathly aura and reached the throat of the Yama Palace's genius in an instant. The genius's reaction was extremely fast. He actually managed to dodge the fatal blow by leaning back. Unfortunately, before he could make any adjustments, the Ice Wing Blade attacked from behind. The Yama Palace's prodigy was still hit by the Ice Wing Blade. He let out a scream and didn't dare to continue fighting with Yang Wu. He dragged his injured body and quickly fled with Hell Demon. Yang Wu wanted to chase after them, but after hesitating for a moment, he decided to take the Dragon Phoenix fruit first. At this moment, no one dared to fight with him. He easily obtained the fruit. After he obtained the Dragon Phoenix fruit, the other creatures launched another attack. They wanted to take down Yang Wu and snatch the Dragon Phoenix fruit from him. Yang Wu had expended quite a bit of energy from the continuous battles. Fortunately, this was a place where the dragon-killing aura was dense. After he mobilized the dragon-killing aura here, and killed a few living beings with an unstoppable force, the other living beings did not dare to act rashly. At the same time, the other Dragon Phoenix fruits also had owners. Out of the 49 Dragon Phoenix fruits, the humans had obtained 15, the spirit demons had obtained 19, the alien races had obtained 8, and the demons had obtained 7. Among the spirit demons, there were the Flood Dragon tribe, the Dragon Horse tribe, the Fire Phoenix tribe, and the Phoenix tribe. Some of the spirit demons had bloodlines with the Dragon and Phoenix tribes. It was normal for them to be able to obtain a few more Dragon Phoenix fruit. On the other hand, many prodigies of the human race also had items from the Dragon and Phoenix tribes. They could also obtain a few more Dragon Phoenix fruit. As for the demons, it wasn't that they weren't strong enough, but that they were restrained by the Dragon Phoenix battle aura. Their demonic chi was very repulsive to the Dragon Phoenix tree. Being able to obtain 7 Dragon Phoenix fruits was already a sign of their strength. After these Dragon Phoenix fruits had owners, the creatures who didn't obtain them attacked the creatures who had obtained them in a frenzy, hoping to snatch them away. Some of the creatures rushed toward the other Dragon Phoenix items. It would be a great harvest if they could obtain 1 or 2 Dragon Phoenix items. On the human side, Yang Wu had obtained 3 Dragon Phoenix fruits all by himself. Many creatures were already eyeing him. The ferocious Gold tribe brought their companions and charged back. Some demons also came to deal with Yang Wu. There were also some humans who wanted to take advantage of the situation. They swore to kill Yang Wu. Yang Wu was no longer fighting alone. The little man's vicious beast army was always the first to charge over. Yang Ba, Suju, Lu Ji, and the others weren't going to fall behind. They didn't care about the other items and came to help Yang Wu. "You want to deal with my big brother? Have you asked me, Skinny Monkey?" Sun Do charged over aggressively, his broken staff sweeping in all directions. Purple Yu also charged over on her Kirin. She was like a lightning fairy, her entire body surrounded by purple lightning. Her destructive power was quite shocking. No creature dared to approach her. Those creatures who wanted to deal with Yang Wu had no choice but to retreat and target other creatures. Yang Wu didn't let them come and go as they pleased. He slaughtered a few creatures in front of so many creatures, displaying his incomparably powerful battle prowess and intimidating everyone. Yang Wu's power had been established. Those who opposed Yang Wu were quite frightened. The Ming Gang, Battle Tribe, and Blood Ghost didn't dare to provoke Yang Wu anymore. They first went to seize the other Dragon Phoenix items. The Dragon Phoenix tree's Dragon Phoenix fruits had all been taken. It didn't want all of its Dragon Phoenix items to be taken. The Dragon Phoenix array was activated again, and many prodigies were sent out of the Dragon Phoenix tree's range. After many prodigies were sent out, they all cursed angrily. D*Eminent, I still haven't gotten what I want. I'm not satisfied. The Dragon Phoenix fruits have all been picked. The Dragon Phoenix tree doesn't want us to stay any longer. What a pity. D*Eminent, I almost got a phoenix feather just now. How can you do this to me, Dragon Phoenix tree? I want to go in again. I also saw a Dragon Bone Sacred Stone, but I didn't get it. My heart hurts. No matter how much they cursed, even if they used the Imperial Edict, they couldn't break the natural array restriction here. Even Lu Ji couldn't do it. Lu Ji was proficient in array formations, but if the Dragon Phoenix tree really wanted his life, it would only take an instant. The Dragon Phoenix tree itself was the most powerful divine item. Even those in the Immortal Ascension realm might not be its match. Yang Wu was in a good mood after obtaining a great harvest. He gathered his brothers together, including Sun Do, Lu Ji, Yang Ba, Su Zhu, Yang Yifan, and the others, and prepared to face the challenges of the others. The battle between the dragons and the phoenixes was a grand event to compete for the title of the strongest. The battle wouldn't end until the end of the day. The people from the Ming Gang, Fighting League, and Blood Wraith had actually joined forces to form an extremely powerful force. Moreover, they all had a grudge against Yang Wu. They would most likely work together to deal with Yang Wu. Yang Wu had to be on guard. At present, 1/3 of the little man's beast army had been lost, and there weren't many people around him. If a battle really broke out, he wasn't confident that he could fight against the three teams. At this point, Yang Wu also felt that it was time to settle some things. Some debts need to be settled. You guys get ready to fight. Yang Wu reminded the people around him. Other than Sun Do, who had obtained the Dragon Phoenix fruit, the rest of the people around Yang Wu didn't manage to get it. Moreover, all of them were injured. Yang Wu reminded them to quickly swallow elixirs to heal their injuries and recover their combat strength. Big brother, we'll fight whoever you say we'll fight. Sun Do's eyes shone with a golden light as he shouted. Monkey, you can't even protect yourself, yet you still dare to speak such arrogant words. A faint voice was heard as he shouted. More than 10 demonic figures appeared in front of Yang Wu and the others. They were the prodigies from the Death God clan. The Death God clan looked a little similar to the human race. The only difference was that they had a pair of wings and a long tail. Their bodies were covered with black tattoos, and a terrifying aura of death covered their bodies. Other creatures didn't want to get close to them. So it's you, disgusting birdman. I didn't have time to look for you, but you came knocking on my door. Sun Do raised his eyes and replied disdainfully. Presumptuous, how dare you speak to the God clan like this? This day next year will be your death anniversary. The leader of the Death God clan shouted. Then, he shouted at the demons around him, What are you waiting for? Come over and serve the God clan. The Death God clan had always been powerful, and they had a unique status in the Devil clan. Following the order of the leader of the Death God clan, some of the demons could only obediently gather from all directions. Soon, the number of demons reached more than 200. There were still 2,000 or 3,000 demons who didn't come over. After all, the Devil clan wasn't an iron plate, and the Death God clan didn't have the final say. You've got a few helpers, and you're just here to talk nonsense. Today, I'll kill all of you birdmen. Another extremely arrogant voice sounded. Immediately afterwards, a creature that looked somewhat similar to Sun Do flew over with a halberd in his hand. Furthermore, there were also creatures from the Yao clan and other races behind him. These creatures were all from the Monkey clan, the Ape clan, or creatures with the bloodlines of these two races. There were several dozen of them altogether. Skinny Monkey, he is? Yang Wu asked Skinny Monkey in surprise when he saw Sun Qian rushing over. Skinny Monkey scratched his head and laughed dryly. He's the one who brought me to the transcendent world. The two of us can be considered brothers. It's good that he's one of us. Yang Wu was stunned for a moment before he responded. Then, he tightened the death scythe in his hand and prepared to fight. A Death God clan creature stared at the death scythe in Yang Wu's hand and said with a strong desire, Human, offer up the divine blade of my clan and I'll leave you with an intact corpse. Seeing that the battle was about to break out, a shocking change suddenly occurred at the location of the Dragon Phoenix tree. Chapter 1085. The Dragon Phoenix tree sealed the space, and the young creatures all thought that the fight for the Dragon and Phoenix items was over. Next, it was time to decide who would be the invincible emperor. The Death God clan brought many demons to confront Yang Wu's group. The other creatures all retreated far away. Just as they were waiting to watch the show, there was another change at the Dragon Phoenix tree. Rumble, rumble! The earth quaked and the mountains shook. Cracks spread out like spider webs, and the terrifying Dragon Chi and Phoenix True Fire appeared again. All the creatures rushed into the sky without hesitation. The Dragon Chi and Phoenix True Fire came too suddenly, and they were extremely powerful. Even saint-level creatures would be directly corroded or burned to death. Some creatures reacted too slowly and were swept up by the Dragon Chi and Phoenix True Fire. They let out miserable screams and were quickly turned into ashes by the two terrifying powers. They died without a complete corpse. The creatures who escaped were all shocked and broke out in cold sweat. These powers were too terrifying. Yang Wu's group and the Death God clan's creatures threw the battle to the back of their minds. Fortunately, they reacted quickly and flew up from the ground. If they were a little slower, they would not be able to escape death. What's going on? Could it be that the Dragon Phoenix tree is angry? The Dragon Phoenix tree must be angry. Otherwise, who could cause such a big commotion? Let's run. Look, a true dragon and phoenix have appeared. What are they doing? They seem to be fighting with some powerful creatures. Not good, the power here is rushing up. Let's retreat. Roar, roar. The phantoms of the true dragon and phoenix appeared again. They were incomparably solid, as if a living true dragon and phoenix were entangled. However, they were not fighting. A third creature appeared in this battlefield. The true dragon and phoenix were working together to deal with the third creature. The third creature was humanoid, like a human, but also like a demon. It also gave people the feeling that it was a demon. His aura could devour mountains and rivers, and his domineering aura deeply intimidated the young creature in front of him. It was as if he could pluck the stars with a single hand and shatter the sun and moon with a single step. His strength was incomparably powerful. The true dragon and phoenix seemed to have been captured by him. The true dragon and phoenix launched a frenzied counterattack. The true dragon's body was tens of thousands of feet long, and the scales all over its body flickered. The dragon chi that it released was also extremely terrifying. It was as if a breath of dragon chi could destroy a star. The moment its body flipped, it could crush heaven and earth. The true fire of the phoenix formed a sea of fire that burned the sky. Anything that touched it would turn into ashes and cease to exist. The third creature fought intensely against the true dragon and phoenix. That scene was like the end of the world, terrifying to the extreme. Heaven and earth were shattered by their attacks, and the void became their only battlefield. The surrounding stars exploded one after another, completely unable to withstand their power. This was the ultimate battle. Even though the young creatures could only vaguely catch some afterimages, it was still enough to make them unable to forget it for the rest of their lives. In the end, the true dragon was torn in half, and the phoenix's wings were broken. Both of them fell. As for the third creature, it did not seem to be faring well either. However, it felt as if he had not died yet, and had disappeared into the void. The dragon chi and true fire of the phoenix that appeared on the ground nearby were the remnants of the ultimate battle. They had been preserved until now. What kind of creature could have such ability? The ground cracked open and a tunnel appeared. In the deepest part of the tunnel, there seemed to be an ancient stone door. An incomparably shocking power emanated from behind the stone door. There were still spots of blood on the stone door that had not dried up yet. It was as if they had just dripped down. It was extremely ferocious and terrifying. The endless passageway was littered with corpses. There were humans, spirit demons, outsiders, and devils. The bones of the corpses were still translucent and radiated with all sorts of saint power, and even divine power. They had all come from beings who were at least at the saint level. Roar. So the old flood dragon god of my flood dragon clan died here. I want to welcome him back. A flood dragon roared. That's the corpse of my King Kong ape clan. Why did he die here? There must be something strange here. A creature of the ape clan cried out. What kind of divine weapon is that? My bloodline is resonating with it. Could it be the ancestral item of my clan? What kind of place is that tunnel? Could it be that this is the truly terrifying place of the Dragon Phoenix Abyss? All of the creatures were in an uproar. Even the creatures that had not arrived at this place could sense the strange phenomenon that was happening here. They were all rushing over. This endless tunnel that was filled with dragon chi and true fire of the phoenix was filled with countless corpses. There were also relics left behind by these dead creatures. Every one of them was an antique of the Saint realm or above, and their value was extraordinary. No matter who could obtain it, it would be a great harvest. However, it was as difficult as ascending to the heavens to get to the tunnel. Some of the impulsive creatures immediately dove down. They were wearing saint robes and saint armors. They thought that it would not be a problem for them to reach the bottom of the tunnel. Who knew that a tragedy would happen? These creatures thought too highly of themselves. After touching the dragon chi and true fire of the phoenix, they quickly turned into ashes. Not even a single hair was left behind. In a flash, all of the creatures shivered. This was a forbidden place. It was not a place that ordinary people could enter. At that moment, Yang Wu's Regal 9 mystery formula had a huge reaction. He could feel that the Xian essence chi was below the tunnel. And in his Yin Kuan space, something was jumping. It almost wanted to come out of his Yin Kuan space. It was the ancient bronze eye he had once obtained. It was also one of the clues related to the Xian essence chi. Besides that, Luyer also had a huge reaction. It was as if there was a power that it desperately wanted. It was urging Yang Wu to enter the tunnel. And the broken blade that the Duanren city leader had given him also seemed to have a reaction. Perhaps the other half of the blade was below the tunnel. The Xian essence chi is below, Yang Wu was absolutely certain. He really wanted to dive down immediately, but after hesitating for a while, he suppressed this impulse. If he rushed down rashly, it would definitely be a dead end. The young creatures all had the same thought. They did not want to let go of such a big opportunity. But how were they supposed to get in? A three-eyed gold wolf opened his third eye and looked down the tunnel. Then he screamed, "Roar! My eye! There is a very pure power down there. It might be the mother chi of the sky and the earth." The mother chi of the sky and the earth was the mother chi of the sky and the earth. It was the source of all the creatures in the sky and the earth. If you could get a strand of the mother chi of the sky and the earth, you could change your destiny. It was a great opportunity. Even Tongtian realm creatures would be jealous. Yang Wu had gotten a strand of the mother chi of the sky and the earth in the God of War Tower. He knew how valuable it was. It was because of the mother chi of the sky and the earth that his body was unparalleled. Little Hay had appeared out of nowhere. She jumped onto Yang Wu's shoulder and said, "Little Wu, you have to go in. There are many good things here." "How do we go down there?" "We will die," Yang Wu said with a frown. "If you don't even have the courage to do this, how can you achieve great things in the future?" Little Hay said disapprovingly. "If you have the ability, you go in first," Yang Wu said angrily. He knew that Little Hay was very powerful, but the power here was too scary. If they went in, they would die. "Okay, then I will go in first," Little Hay said. She jumped off his shoulder and went straight into the tunnel. The murderous dragon aura and true phoenix fire didn't seem to be able to hurt her. She went in easily. When she reached the end of the tunnel, she didn't forget to look back at Yang Wu provocatively. Then, she ran into the depths of the tunnel. The young living beings were all shocked. What kind of background did this little hay hound have? It was actually able to reach the bottom of the tunnel without fear of the terrifying power here. Woof, woof, this is a holy weapon, right? It looks like its quality is only SOSO. Little Hay picked up a top-grade holy sword with her paw and waved it a few times. Then, she casually threw the holy weapon to the side. The young living being's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Was this Little Hay hound a heavenly immortal tier being? She didn't even care about holy weapons. Hey, this is the demon core of the Death God clan, right? It seems to have reached the heavenly immortal tier. Not bad. It would be a good idea to keep it to refined demonic pills. This half of a spear is quite interesting. It's actually inlaid with dragon scales. It's a pity that it's only half of a spear. It's not very useful. This is the skeleton of a flood dragon. It's not bad either. It was about to become a true dragon. It's a pity that it died like this. Little Hay looked at the skeletons in the tunnel. Looking at the treasures here, she muttered to herself indifferently. Her voice wasn't soft, as if she was deliberately trying to let the living beings outside hear her. Those living beings were all extremely agitated by her. Is this a prodigy of the Demon Dog clan? Why haven't I seen her before? I didn't sense any information about her in the Jade Tablet either. How shameless. She doesn't want so many good things. That black demon really knows how to act. Lord Black Dog, can you bring out the things that you don't want? We'll trade with you. Yes, yes. Lord Black Dog Demon, please bring out all the things inside. We're willing to pay any price to trade with you. Many living beings were extremely envious. One after another, they called out to Little Hay to bring out all the holy and godly items. Each and every one of them was extremely valuable. Obtaining any one of them would be a great gain. It was also at this moment that an inexplicable power swept toward Little Hay. It was like a terrifying holy power. In an instant, Little Hay was hit. Bang! Little Hay! Yang Wu called out anxiously. Little Man also had a nervous look on her face. She didn't want anything to happen to Little Hay. Otherwise, she would be very sad. Quite a few creatures revealed looks of pity, and there were also some creatures who didn't think much of it. It was as if they had expected something like this to happen. If those holy objects or divine objects could be taken away so easily, they would feel that it was abnormal. Woof woof. It hurt so much. Chapter 1086. Many living beings thought that Little Hay would die. That would be more reasonable. After all, that was a treasure trove where holy artifacts and divine artifacts gathered. How could there be no danger? Any living being that approached would definitely be killed. Sure enough, Little Hay was attacked. However, Little Hay actually didn't die. Many living beings stared with wide eyes. Little Hay didn't wander around here. To it, the things here were all inferior. Following the release of its sealed power, it recovered a lot of its strength. It would definitely be easy for it to kill saint-level living beings. However, it was a celestial emperor. It definitely wouldn't make a move on those weak living beings so easily. It hoped to obtain the source chi of heaven and earth there. However, it also felt that there might be danger in that place. Even it felt a little scared. It murmured nervously, could it be the node that leads to the celestial realm? After Little Hay went deeper in, everyone couldn't see its figure anymore. The living beings present started to become restless again. Even a Little Hay dog could barge into the forbidden area. Why couldn't they enter? The demon son of the death god put on a top-grade demonic saint armor and held an ancient shield. His entire body exuded a strong aura as he charged toward the passageway. Wait for me to welcome back the demon core of my clan's lord, the demon's son shouted confidently. When he fell into the baleful dragon chi and true phoenix flames, two completely different powers enveloped him. As expected, the defensive power of the top-grade demonic saint armor on his body was astonishing. It protected him tightly, and he wasn't directly killed by these powers. He charged over as quickly as he could, and finally approached the passageway. The living beings in the surroundings all stared intently at the demon son of the death god. They wanted to see if he could really obtain the demon core. The demon son of the death god walked carefully. He felt that the pressure from this passageway was too great. A terrifying power could appear at any time. He suppressed his greedy thoughts and directly locked onto the corpse of the death god demon. He stretched out a wisp of demonic chi and grabbed toward the demon core. Just as his power wrapped around the demon core, the demon corpse suddenly moved. A demon palm furiously slapped towards the demon son of death. This was a devil saint that was close to the heaven ascension realm. Although it was already dead, the terrifying devil chi it brought was still extraordinary. The devil son of the death god didn't even have the chance to react before he was sent flying with a slap. Puff! The demon son of the death god spurted out a mouthful of blood. Fortunately, he was wearing a top-grade demon saint armor. Otherwise, he would have died without a doubt. Without waiting for the demon son of the death god to get up, the demonic corpse struck again. Its power directly enveloped the demon son of the death god. The demon son of the death god didn't even have the chance to escape. His head was smashed by the power of this palm. A top evil prince died in front of everyone and became a corpse here. His top evil saint armor and shield were also left behind. Your Highness, don't die. A death god clan member cried out in fear. Unfortunately, no matter how they screamed, the demon son of the death god was already dead. Our clan's sacred objects can't be left there. Wait for me to bring them back. Another grim reaper shouted loudly. His hands were constantly forming hand seals. The power of the devil race's incantation shrouded this heaven and earth. He hoped to be able to retrieve the top-grade Devil Saint armor and Devil Saint shield that had just been lost in the passage. However, no matter how hard he tried, the sacred objects below didn't respond at all. It was as if they were completely isolated from the outside world. The creature from the Death God clan did not give up just like that. Another sacred object appeared in his hand. It looked like a demonic staircase with incredible power. After he poured his power into it, the demonic staircase swept down toward the passage below, isolating the dragon chi and the power of the true fire of the phoenix. The creature from the Death God clan stepped onto the demonic staircase and quickly swept toward his companion who had just died, preparing to retrieve his corpse. At this time, the dead demon son of the Death God seemed to have come back to life. He tangled with the Death God clan member and launched an attack. Your Highness, the Death God clan member cried out in shock. He had no choice but to fight with the other party. This scene caused the other creatures to reveal a look of shock. As long as the corpses were touched, the corpses would have the power to resist. What was going on? Could it be that if they didn't touch the corpses, they wouldn't be attacked? The dead demon son of the Death God clan member wasn't a match for the living Death God clan member. It was just that he attacked crazily like a puppet and still caused some injuries to the Death God clan member. In the end, the Death God clan member won and took the top evil saint armor and shield. The Death God clan member originally wanted to return through the demonic staircase, but he hesitated and said to his companions, "Come over and bring back His Highness' corpse and the corpse of my clan's ancestor." He didn't rashly try to seize the demon core of his ancestor. Instead, he called more companions over, hoping to borrow more power to seize the demon core. Once he got the demon core, he would be close to becoming an evil saint. Those Death God clan members weren't afraid of death. They all stepped onto the demonic staircase and entered the passage below. "Let's go together and bring back the ancestor's corpse," the Death God clan member just now shouted. Combining the power of more than 10 of them, they all attacked the top evil saint corpse at the same time, wanting to seize the demon core. Not only that, but there were also top evil saint artifacts left there. They were all their targets. When they attacked, the Death God demon corpse seemed to have come back to life. It emitted an extremely terrifying aura and attacked the Death God clan members. It had lost its peak power, but the evil saint power it unleashed was still incomparably terrifying. Even a mid-level evil saint might not be able to withstand it. The Death God demon corpse used all kinds of evil saint techniques to block it. As long as they got the demon core, the opponent wouldn't be able to attack anymore. Bang! Bang! The demonic palms were like clouds, extremely terrifying. They smashed all of the Death God demon corpse's technique. Several Death God demons exploded on the spot. They couldn't resist such a powerful attack at all. The Death God demon corpse was so scared that he peed his pants. They didn't dare to think about the demon core anymore. They prepared to step onto the demonic staircase and escape. Unfortunately, it was all too late. The demonic corpse seemed to have come back to life. Its attacks were as fast as lightning. The gap between them and it was too big. Not many of them could escape. Only the first Death God demon corpse that released the demonic staircase escaped the fastest. He took the risk of being seriously injured and jumped onto the demonic staircase. He was lucky enough to escape from there. Ah! Damn this place. The death god demon corpse let out a sorrowful roar. When the other death god demons saw that the death god demon corpse was able to escape, many of the top death god demons' minds became active again. As long as they didn't touch those corpses, they might be able to obtain some opportunities in the passage. The seven-tailed fox king of the spirit demon clan moved. Her perfect body twisted like a snake. A sparkling jade ruler appeared in her palm. The power of the jade ruler flashed and turned into a long rainbow. It crossed the evil dragon Chi and the true fire of the phoenix and brought her into the passage. At the same time, a few other top death god demons also moved. How can I miss out on such an amazing opportunity? The human clan's Jin Qiu was the most domineering. He put his palms together and walked step by step toward the evil dragon Chi and the phoenix battle Chi. He didn't use any external force at all and successfully entered the passage. Instantly, all the death god demons were shocked. This was a strong contender for the title of Invincible Emperor. Sun Qian of the mutated race also rushed into the passage without hesitation. He had a top-grade golden armor on his body that protected him tightly. He also successfully entered the passage. Among the demons, a sky tyrant demon released dense demonic chi and drove a demonic weapon into the passage. Among the demons, a fire phoenix transformed and rushed in with a phoenix feather. Two death god demons from the Jade Emperor clan entered the passage at the same time. Their bodies flickered with jade light and their bodies were shocking. No one could ignore them. Soon, more than 10 death god demons used various methods to rush in. However, from the human clan side, only Jin Qiu went in. The heavens' favorites on the human clan's side were embarrassed. They could only look at the leaders of the other teams, hoping that they could fight for the human clan. Everyone thought that the first palace lord would be the first to enter. Unexpectedly, a figure rushed in like the wind. Those with good eyesight saw that it was Jiang Ping, the first on the heavenly dragon leaderboard. How can a mere rapist have such courage? I want to go in too. A heaven's favorite was provoked. After cursing, he put on a saint robe and rushed in. In the end, the heaven's favorite suffered a tragedy. His saint robe's level wasn't low, but his physical body wasn't strong enough. After being touched by the phoenix true fire, he was burned to ashes. Pfft, I'm the heavenly palace's son of heaven. How can you vulgar people compare to me? Jiang Ping flicked his bangs and said proudly. He looked at Yang Wu provocatively and then walked into the depths of the passage. At this moment, the first palace lord couldn't hold back anymore. He didn't use any shocking methods, but with a whoosh, he rushed into the passage. The people of the Dragon Hall couldn't help but exclaim, "Mighty Palace Lord!" The other living beings couldn't help but think, what kind of mystical power is that? Then, the heavens' favorites all used their methods to enter the passage. The seventh princess of the Xianyuan clan from the Phoenix Palace, Kuan Mingzi from the Ming Gang, the previous generation's saint and saintess from the Thunder Sect, the top heaven's favorite from the Empress clan. These most powerful heavens' favorites of the human clan all went in. The top heavens' favorites of the other clans also went in. They all made foolproof preparations before rushing in. However, some heavens' favorites couldn't withstand the dragon-killing aura and phoenix true fire and died before reaching the passage. There were definitely no more than 100 heavens' favorites who could safely enter. They were the top heavens' favorites of the various clans. Big brother, let's go in too. Shouho naturally didn't want to miss such an opportunity, and said to Yang Wu. This place was extremely dangerous, but Shouho was confident that he could walk out of here. He also believed that Yang Wu had the ability to do so. Yang Wu just nodded when he suddenly felt a gaze on him. He looked in that direction and saw a black rose blooming in midair. It directly disappeared into the passage below. He couldn't help but exclaim, "Is that her?" Chapter 1087. Turning Back Time. At the Wolf Smoke Mountain Range, at the border between the two empires, there was a troop called the Death Legion. They were the lowest-ranking legion at the border of the Great Xia Empire. They were the vanguard. When the battle started, they were the soldiers who charged at the very front to kill the enemy. If they couldn't perform meritorious deeds on the battlefield, they could be executed at any time and live a precarious life. This legion took in all the prison slaves who were transferred from the Wolf Smoke Mountain prison. They needed to kill enough barbarians and accumulate enough military merits before they could regain their freedom. All along, the Death Legion had the highest mortality rate. Once, it was the legion led by the War King of Death. After he became the War King, he comprehended the Tao of Death and became one of the top 10 kings of the Great Xia Empire. After he regained his freedom, the Rose of Death took over. No one knew the origin of the Rose of Death. They only knew that when she was thrown into the military camp, she hadn't even reached the human general realm. However, she comprehended the will of death and condensed her own Tao of Death. She became the new king after the War King of Death and became the commander of the Death Legion. The Rose of Death was famous for her ferocity in the army. She was famous for being a cold-blooded woman. Those who went against her will were sent to hell by her. Who knew that one day a youth came? He looked gentle and weak, but he dared to kill barbarians. Moreover, he was very desperate. He was fearless even when fighting against the evil people in the Legion. It was best that he became the commander of the Legion. This youth also did something bold that no one knew about. He saw the body of the Rose of Death and wasn't killed immediately. He was really blessed by the heavens. As the youth grew up, the Rose of Death passed the position of commander of the Death Legion to him and disappeared. The youth had always been concerned about her disappearance. Unfortunately, he didn't know where she came from and didn't know where she went. Once in the Empire, he had sent people to investigate the Rose of Death's origins. Unfortunately, there were no clues at all. It was as if someone had appeared out of thin air. The youth gradually forgot about her. Who would have thought that after so many years in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, he would see a similar rose again. It also had the scent of the Way of Death, but he did not know if it was her. Her face was covered, and she wore a set of black armor. Her exquisite figure was incomparably graceful, and the aura of death formed a demonic rose, blocking the dragon-killing aura and true phoenix fire. After the black rose was corroded by these two powers, she had already nimbly fallen into the passageway. In the passageway, the top creatures of the various races were already fighting against the skeletons in the passageway. When those top-level creatures saw something that moved their hearts, they couldn't control their greed. When they touched something here, the skeletons would come back to life to deal with them. Unless they could resist the power of the skeletons, only death awaited them. The humans were smarter. Most of them controlled their greed and continued to venture deeper. They wanted to explore what was behind the stone door. If there really was heaven and earth source chi, that would be the greatest opportunity. Yang Wu didn't want to delay any longer. He said to the people beside him, "You guys don't need to go down. I'll also go with Skinny Monkey. No matter what happens, you guys can't be rash. I'll go with you." Purple Yu, Shu Yujun, and Little Man said in unison. "No, it's too dangerous." Yang Wu rejected them without any trace of politeness. "Marshal, don't forget that I have the dream wedding dress." Purple Yu transmitted to Yang Wu. "All right, then you must stay by my side." Yang Wu compromised with Purple Yu. Shu Yujun and Little Man were not allowed to go in. They wanted to insist, but after seeing Yang Wu's dissatisfied expression, they could only obediently nod and stay. "Master, I'll go in with you," Yang Ba and Su Zhu said from the side. Yang Wu turned around to look at them and said, "You guys stay as well." After pausing for a moment, he emphasized, "Protect Yu Jun, Little Man, and junior sister Qing Jing. I don't want any harm to come to them." Without waiting for them to reply, Lu Ji said with a smile, "Master, don't worry. With me, the great Saint Array Master, here, no matter how many people come, I can take care of them for you." They will definitely be fine. And I'm relieved with you here. After Yang Wu replied, he didn't waste any more words and rushed down. Yang Wu was still wearing the top-grade saint robe. It could isolate most of the dragon chi and phoenix true fire. A small amount of the dragon chi and phoenix true fire were absorbed by him. He could safely enter the passage below. Purple Yu Yu was wearing the fantasy wedding robe. This was a saint robe at the top of the saint weapon rankings. Not only did it have the ability to become invisible, but its defensive power was even higher than Yang Wu's top-grade saint robe. She could easily charge in. It was unknown where Skinny Monkey had gotten a golden fire battle armor from. It looked tattered as it wrapped around his body. However, the Dragon Chi and Phoenix True Fire were isolated from it. At the same time, he was able to absorb the Dragon Chi and Phoenix True Fire. This was somewhat similar to Yang Wu. It had to be said that Skinny Monkey's fortuitous encounter was no less than Yang Wu's. Meow meow, just how many women does Yang Wu have by his side? In the direction of the Phoenix Palaces group, a beautiful woman who looked like an empress asked a youth. Aside from Chao Jifei, who else could be called an empress here? Meow meow scratched the back of his head and said, "This? I'm not too sure. I've only been with boss for a short time." "Humph, a shameless playboy. Don't you learn from him. Otherwise I won't forgive you." Chao Jifei coldly snorted. Meow meow cried out in his heart. What did his boss's playfulness have to do with him? He was just lying down and suffering. "Big sister, let's go in and take a look?" Chao Jifei asked the third master of Xianyuan Palace. "Let's not go. This kind of thing isn't suitable for us. Fire dance is enough," the third master of Xianyuan Palace said very rationally. After hesitating for a while, Chao Jifei suppressed the impulse in her heart. She really wanted to rush down and compete with that Fairy Yu. She had a bet with Yang Wu, and she had even lost her body to Yang Wu. Although the two of them hadn't fulfilled the bet, and she didn't plan on fulfilling it, it didn't stop her from having a good impression of Yang Wu. A youth who could cure the Dark Corpse poison and Dark Corpse curse, and whose alchemy skills completely overshadowed her. Wasn't this the ideal man for her? Unfortunately, he was too much of a playboy. Yang Wu, Ziyu, and Sun Do all rushed into the passage. Yang Wu immediately transmitted his voice to them. "Don't rashly touch those things. Don't worry, I still have that much self-control." Ziyu approached Yang Wu and held Yang Wu's hand. When the living beings outside saw this scene, many young people of the human clan began to wail in indignation. "Fairy Yu, why is she holding that man's hand? Hurry up and let go, my heart is broken. Bastard, who is that toad? How dare he walk together with Fairy Yu? Do you believe that I'll cut you into pieces?" "That's Saint Master Yang Wu. He's walking together with Holy Maiden Ziyu. Can anyone tell me if this is real? Saint Master Yang Wu is the man I've set my eyes on. That stinking woman, hurry up and let go of his hand, or I'll fight it out with you." Regardless of whether it was a male or a female prodigy, they all had someone they liked. Ziyu was a stunning woman, otherwise she wouldn't have been called Fairy Yu or Fairy Yu. Yang Wu wasn't inferior either. He was the youngest master apothecary in the history of the Apothecary Alliance. Just this title alone was enough to make many women look at him in a different light. Moreover, he was so handsome. When Yang Wu and Ziyu walked together in public, they attracted many hateful gazes. Some prodigies who had lost their minds rushed down, but they were instantly destroyed by the Dragon Chi and true Phoenix Fire. To be able to die for the person you like, that was true love. Of course, in the eyes of many, this was a foolish act. Those who should have entered had already entered, and those who shouldn't had no other thoughts. What kind of shocking secret was hidden in this passage? The passage was very wide and took up a large space. It could easily accommodate 1,000 people at the same time. Those who had entered first became greedy and were killed by the skeletons here. So far, no one had been able to snatch the holy or divine items from these skeletons. Yang Wu led Ziyu and Sun Do into the depths of the passage. Who knew that a foreign race would lead the trouble to them? After snatching a holy item, he rushed towards Yang Wu and the others. This was a member of the Winged tribe. She was known for her speed. As she flapped her wings, the power of lightning flashed faintly. She was a mutated member of the Thunderwing tribe. This foreign race was very powerful and could summon lightning to battle at any time. When this Thunderwing tribe member flew over, Shou-Ho swung his broken staff at her. He shouted, "Demon woman, how dare you harm us?" Shou-Ho was no longer an ignorant person. His battle prowess was definitely one of the top prodigies. This staff strike was filled with dense firepower and contained an extremely domineering power. The Thunderwing tribe member shrieked, "Those who stop me will die." Shou-Ho struck the twin hammers in his hands. Thunder rumbled directly into Shou-Ho's soul. She also used the power of lightning to block Shou-Ho's attack. Her battle prowess was just as monstrous. Behind the Thunderwing tribe member, a skeleton covered in lightning had already reached out. The terrifying lightning claws seemed to be able to tear the sky apart. Its lethality was extremely domineering. The power of this claw not only enveloped the Thunderwing tribe member, but also Shou-Ho. "Be careful!" Yang Wu and Ziyu shouted in unison. The two of them did not hesitate to attack the lightning skeleton, hoping that Shou-Ho would be injured. The Thunderwing tribe member also realized the danger behind her. The power of the Imperial Edict was being torn apart. As long as she could escape, she would be able to obtain the top-grade holy item. At the same time, Yang Wu and Ziyu's attacks also landed on the claw, forcing the lightning skeleton to stop attacking. This also helped the Thunderwing tribe member. "Tch, there's no way you can escape." Shou-Ho was furious. The Thunderwing tribe member's attack just now did not hurt him. He was angry that she had attracted the lightning skeleton. Eyes of Fire and Gold. Chapter 1088. The thunderous winged person was ranked highly among the top 20 on the alien tribe ranking. She had yet to reveal all of her trump cards. She had expended a lot of effort to obtain the thunderous skeleton. Coincidentally, Yang Wu and the others had entered and created an opportunity for her to escape. Who knew that she had made the wrong decision? She had thought that Yang Wu and the others would be able to stop the thunderous skeleton and escape with the power of the Imperial Edict. However, Shou-Ho would not allow himself to be used. He had even caused the thunderous skeleton to target them. He had to take down this thunderous winged person. Eyes of Fire and Gold. This was Shou-Ho's special ability. Two terrifying beams of energy shot towards the thunderous winged person. The power of the Imperial Edict was instantly penetrated by the golden flames and landed on the thunderous winged person. "Ah!" The thunderous winged person screamed as soon as she was touched by the golden flames. She used all of her strength in an attempt to shake off the golden flames. However, the golden flames were too domineering. They were no ordinary saint fire. In a few blinks of an eye, the thunderous winged person was burned to ashes by the golden flames. The living beings in the outside world saw this scene and their eyelids twitched. What was the origin of these golden flames? They seemed to be on par with the true phoenix fire here. After the thunderous winged person died, Shou-Ho successfully took the item she had obtained. At this time, Yang Wu and Ziyu were facing off against the thunderous skeleton. The thunderous skeleton was too powerful. Even though it was dead, it was still able to unleash the power of a mid-level saint. Even if Yang Wu and Ziyu worked together, they still found it difficult to deal with it. If it was a one-on-one battle, the thunderous skeleton would have taken them down long ago. "Big brother, let me help you!" Shou-Ho shouted as he pulled out his broken staff and attacked the thunderous skeleton. The three top prodigies were fighting the thunderous skeleton at the same time. The battle was extremely intense. The lightning skeleton's adaptability was a bit weaker, but its continuous attacks were truly terrifying. After Yang Wu and Ziyu each blocked a few attacks, they were both shaken to the point of vomiting blood. If they weren't wearing top-grade saint garments, they would have suffered even more serious injuries. Skinny Monkey's attack gave them some breathing space. Yu exclaimed, "Its lightning bone contains the power of lightning. If we absorb its lightning energy, it might lose its power." After saying that, she formed a seal with both hands. Traces of the power of thunder and lightning lingered around her body. A powerful suction force was generated, and the aura of thunder and lightning enveloped Lei Diane's skeleton. Yang Wu no longer hid his abilities and released his electric fork aura. After their two auras collided, a field of thunder and lightning was formed. The space was filled with countless lightning bolts, and they became the god of thunder and goddess of lightning. No, it should be the god of thunder and goddess of lightning. Ziyu's thunder and lightning aura released a thunder hammer, while Yang Wu's was an electric fork. They could completely fuse together, and the two of them felt their strength rising in a straight line. They had extraordinary combat power. This was the power of the electric and electromagnetic field that they had formed together in the Heavenly Palace. It was definitely a unique power. Perhaps it had something to do with the divine weapons that they had obtained in their bodies. "Skinny Monkey, get out of the way!" Yang Wu shouted at Skinny Monkey. Skinny Monkey dodged to the side without thinking. He could sense the terrifying power that Yang Wu and Ziyu had combined. It was enough to kill a mid-tier saint with ease. He couldn't help but exclaim, as expected of big brother and sister-in-law, "They are invincible when they work together." Boom! Boom! The field of thunder and lightning created a sea of lightning. The power of each purple lightning cloud was incomparably terrifying, and they all blasted toward the Lei Diane's skeleton. Not only did this field of thunder and lightning contain terrifying destructive power, but it also had the ability to absorb lightning. The attack of the Lei Diane's skeleton was blocked by the field of thunder and lightning. The power released by the skeleton was forcibly absorbed by Ziyu, and Yang Wu could also absorb a portion of it. At the same time, they actually managed to absorb some secrets from the power of thunder and lightning that others couldn't detect. Strands of thunder runes from the Lei Diane's skeleton entered their bodies, and some kind of inheritance was branded in their minds. Ziyu received a top-tier leg skill called Thunderbolt Step. Once she mastered it, she would have the speed of thunder and lightning. It wasn't as simple as a holy skill. It was a demigod-level leg skill. Yang Wu received a combat skill called Lightning Finger. It was a high-level holy skill. It wasn't as good as Ziyu's Thunderbolt Steps, but it was perfect for Yang Wu, who lacked a suitable combat skill. The Lei Diane's skeleton was just an inanimate object. Under the power of the field of thunder and lightning, the skeleton cracked. The thunder and lightning power was scraped away by Ziyu and Yang Wu. The skeleton was completely destroyed, and it no longer existed. No matter if it was in the outside world or in the passageway, they all saw a powerful lightning field. However, they were all amazed by Ziyu's powerful battle prowess and neglected Yang Wu. Ziyu came from Purple Cloud Palace, and she specialized in thunder and lightning power. This was something everyone knew, but they didn't know she was so strong. The power released by the field of thunder and lightning was enough to kill a mid-level holy creature. This power was enough to wipe them out. They didn't know Yang Wu had played a big role. If it weren't for Yang Wu, the power of the field of thunder and lightning would have been reduced by at least half. Yang Wu and Ziyu looked at each other. They both smiled and retracted their power. Their faces returned to normal. One couldn't tell how dangerous the battle was, and one couldn't tell what they had gained. "Brother, sister-in-law, are you okay?" Skinny Monkey asked. "We're fine," Yang Wu replied. Then, he waved at Skinny Monkey and asked him to come over. He felt that it was necessary to discuss how to go through this tunnel. At this moment, a series of shocking battles were taking place in the passageway. Not many of the peerless geniuses who came in could resist the temptation of this place. The further in they went, the higher the level of the objects they saw. There were even divine objects. who could maintain their original intentions. This is the predecessor of my Phoenix tribe. Is that the Phoenix crown? I must get it. Hwahongyun, who came in from the Fire Phoenix tribe, saw what she wanted. It was the Phoenix crown, the core of the Phoenix tribe. Once she got it, she could become a phoenix. She couldn't help but fly toward the Phoenix crown. She had to bring it back. She held the Phoenix feather in her hand and activated her defense to the strongest state. A flame wrapped around the Phoenix crown and tore the Imperial Edict apart. She was prepared for the worst. Yo! The Phoenix crown turned into a phoenix, and a cry rang out. A beam of true fire of the phoenix shot toward Hwahongyun. Hwahongyun spat out her most powerful flames, which combined with the feathers of the phoenix. She was determined to block this attack. Unfortunately, she was wrong. The attack of the Phoenix crown was too terrifying. Even a high-level saint would not be able to block it. All of her techniques were pierced through. The true fire landed on her body, and she let out a shrill cry. She immediately retreated outside, but before she could fly far, her body was reduced to ashes. Not even a single feather was left behind. Her body and soul were scattered, and she died. A young fire phoenix genius of a generation fell just like that. In another direction there was a human. He was a dark horse. Although he wasn't as powerful as Jiang Ping and Sun Do, his techniques were extraordinary. He actually had the ability to sneak in here. He wore a crown on his head. It looked like he was a prince from some dynasty. His dragon chi was astonishing, and so was his willpower. He kept going in, ignoring the holy objects and divine objects around him. Originally, he wanted to rush into the depths in one breath, but he suddenly saw a divine map hanging on a human corpse. That corpse was wearing a crown similar to his own. With tears streaming down his face, he said, "Great ancestor, I finally found you." The prince didn't rush over directly. Instead, he cut open his wrist and used the power of his blood to summon the corpse. A golden snake flew out from his arm. It was a golden dragon snake. It was a creature that only the royal family of an ancient dynasty could raise. It represented the emperor's chi and could become an emperor in the future. This young man was definitely a prince from one of the ancient dynasties in the transcendental realm. The golden dragon snake flew toward the divine map. It was extremely fast. It broke through the void and arrived at the divine map in the blink of an eye. It wanted to take the divine map away. The corpse changed and tried to grab the golden dragon snake. The prince's blood condensed into blood beads and shot toward the corpse. The prince shouted, "Ancestor, let me invite the divine map back." He hoped to use the resonance of his bloodline to call out to his ancestor's remnant will and not stop the golden dragon snake from taking the map. The corpse paused for a moment. The golden dragon snake returned with the divine map. The prince's face was filled with joy. As long as he could obtain this divine map, it meant that not only could he become the emperor's successor, but he could also obtain the long-lost inheritance. It was a pity that before his smile faded, a terrifying power enveloped him and the golden dragon snake, enveloping them in an instant. The boundless power turned them into a pool of blood on the spot. They did not know what had happened. If they could revive, they would definitely see the boundless power released by the divine map. It was definitely a godly power that could reach the heavens. How could they resist it? The divine map returned to the side of the corpse again. It was as if it had never been passive. In other directions, a few living beings had also touched the holy objects or divine objects here, and all of them had suffered a calamity of annihilation. The creatures in the periphery couldn't help but gasp in surprise. This is really a forbidden area. How can these dead objects still unleash such great power? It's too terrifying. Leader, don't take those things anymore. No matter how good the things are, you won't be able to use them. Come back quickly. Seventh Princess, come back quickly. Your cultivation talent is boundless. Don't touch those things that you shouldn't take. Yo, Princess, you died so miserably. Why is it like this? Your Highness, are you really dead? I definitely don't believe it.